The third perspective.
Top, the red light. Oh, now it's playing cool.
We can do it like that. A whole lot of that. You know? Let's get it. All right.
You can't hear the music in there.
Why not? I muted.
No. I had to buy me a new battery too.
To what?
Laptop.
Show your tattoo, 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 the way, I'm a fan.
What it do, what it do, what it do. Welcome. You're tuned in to the #1 podcast in the DMV. I am your host, your late night supervisor, dope dealer extraordinaire, DC's own, Rad B.I.D. Jones. That's right before your internet fools. To the left of me and to the right, our podcast partners, Jay, Radical Real, the Third Perspective Podcast, T3P. Now in the social justice crisis, a pandemic, economic crisis, political crisis. A president that's impeached, got less than 30 days for the next election. But I'm still black and I'm proud. You know what I'm saying, Doc? What it do? What's going on with y'all, Doc? What it do, what it do?
You also forgot to say you had a vice president was confused, but okay.
Yeah. I don't know about that one. You know, Jay? What's going on, Jay?
Yeah, lunch is cooler. And my 95 brings black ass home. So I won't get tapped on top. Your hands up.
Now wait a minute, man. It's your normal day happened though, right? Your normal day. You speeding or something, man? What are you scared about, man? Every week you just come in there, hey, I try to blow your ass up. Like, nigga, what you doing?
Yeah, bro. Nah, this is staying out the way. Just staying out the way.
Nigga told me I'm scared to go to church and shit. You know what I'm saying, Doc? What happened to that?
Dude said, yeah, scared of going to church.
That was Roger Royal say that shit.
Yeah, you scared to go to church, though, you know.
Yeah?
Shout out to all the fans that be listening to our podcast. You know, I put a lot of fans on to it, you know what I'm saying? I told them to check it out. See how they go. You know what I'm saying? I started to get looked at funny now. I don't know.
What it do? Yeah, this is the Third Perspective Podcast. This is DMV, DC natives. You know what I'm saying, Doc? You don't get the real shit. We don't be playing about them, you know what I'm saying?
Exercising the number one amendment right.
You know what I'm saying, Doc?
It's black people.
This is how we gonna get in tonight. Before we go deep into our podcast, this is podcast number 38. If anybody that was guessing, we're on 38 now. You know what I'm saying, Doc? Appreciate everybody that download the podcast on Spotify, wherever you get your downloads at. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you get your podcast at. That's at Google, Spotify, wherever it's at. You know, appreciate it a whole lot. We're creeping up on that 5,000 downloads, and that's it. We're gonna be eating that hot chip. You know what I'm saying, Doc? Be on fire after that. You know what I'm saying, Doc? Y'all get that real? Boom. You know? The hottest chip in the world. 5,000 downloads. We eat this live on all platforms. You know what I'm saying, Doc? And on top of that, we get 100 subscribers on YouTube. We eat this live. So whatever come first. You know what I'm saying, Doc? If Rail get 100, we smash this. You see what I'm saying, Doc? T3P podcast get 100, we smash this. You know what I'm saying, Doc? 5,000 downloads on our podcast, Google Podcast. We eating this off the break. You see what I'm saying, Doc? I'm not looking forward to this shit. Okay? But I am looking forward to breaking that 5,000, you know what I'm saying, mark. You know what I'm saying, Doc? T3P. You know? But tonight we got the vice president debate. We're gonna chime into that joint in and out, you know what I'm saying? But first, before we get in that, y'all already know how we feel about well, everybody that's running in this race and everything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna check into the vice president debate and see what's going on. You know what I'm saying, Doc? Shout out to everybody tuning in. Appreciate you a whole lot. See what's going on.
The American family. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who measures the strength of the economy based on how rich people are doing, which is why he passed a tax bill benefiting the top 1% and the biggest corporations of America, leading to a $2 trillion deficit that the American people are going to have to pay. Invest in infrastructure. It's about upgrading our roads and bridges, but also investing in clean energy and renewable energy. Joe is going to invest that money in what we need to do around innovation. There was a time when our country believed in science and invested in research and development so that we were an innovation leader on the globe. Joe Biden will use that money to invest in education. So, for example, for folks who want to go to a 2-year community college, it will be free. If you come from a family that makes less than $125,000, you'll go to a public university for free. And across the board, we'll make sure that if you have student loan debt, it's cut by $10,000. That's how Joe Biden thinks about the economy, which is it's about investing in the people of our country as opposed to passing a tax bill which had the benefit of letting American corporations go offshore to do their business.
Thank you,
You're
Senator
welcome.
Harris. Vice President Pence, your administration has been predicting a rapid and robust recovery, but the latest economic report suggests that that's not happening. Should Americans be braced?
No.
So far, like I said, I didn't have nobody know when they vote that, man. You tripping, dog. You seriously tripping, because she basically going over the same shit the Democrats been fighting for. $10,000 cut off your student loans, public school free. It's just normal shit. You know what I'm saying? And all they gonna do is probably spend the same shit you want to spend a lot of money and all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But well, I ain't hear that much of it, so far I don't like how timid she is. You know? She's real timid. I don't know, y'all feel that way when I listen to her.
Upper bra strap.
Huh?
Upper bra strap. I'm just gonna.
Something right.
And she ain't over her head.
Six.
She ain't over her head.
First question to you. This year we've seen record-setting hurricanes in the south. Another one, Hurricane Delta, is now threatening the Gulf. And we have seen record-setting wildfires in the west. Do you believe, as the scientific community has concluded, that man-made climate change has made wildfires bigger, hotter, and more deadly, and have made hurricanes wetter, slower, and more damaging? We have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Susan. Well, first, I'm very proud of our record on the environment and on conservation. According to all of the best estimates, our air and land are cleaner than any time ever recorded. Our water is among the cleanest in the world. And just a little while ago, the President signed the Outdoors Act, the largest investment in our public lands and public parks in 100 years. So President Trump has made a commitment to conservation of the environment. Now, with regard to climate change, the climate is changing. The issue is, what's the cause and what do we do about it? President Trump has made clear that we're going to continue to listen to science. Now, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have put us back in the Paris Climate Accord. They imposed the Green New Deal, which would crush American energy, would increase the energy costs of American families and their homes. Literally, we crush American jobs. And President Trump and I believe that the progress that we have made in a cleaner environment is going to happen precisely because we have a strong free market economy. You know, what's remarkable is the United States has reduced CO2 more than the countries that are still in the Paris Climate Accord, but we've done it through innovation. And we've done it through natural gas and fracking, which Senator and the American people can go look at the record. And I know Joe Biden says otherwise now, as you do, but the both of you repeatedly committed to abolishing fossil fuel and banning fracking. And so by creating the kind of American innovation, we're actually steering towards a stronger and better environment. With regard to wildfires, President Trump and I believe that forest management has to be front and center. Even Governor Gavin Newsom from your state has agreed we got to work on forest management. With regard to hurricanes, the National Oceanic Administration tells us that actually as difficult as they are, there are no more hurricanes today than there were 100 years ago. But many of the climate alarms use hurricanes and wildfires to try and settle the Green New Deal. And President Trump and I are always put American jobs and American workers first.
Senator Harris, as the Vice President mentioned, you co-sponsored the Green New Deal in Congress. But Vice President Biden said in last week's debate that he does not support the Green New Deal. But if you look at the Biden-Harris campaign website, it describes the Green New Deal as a crucial framework. What exactly would be the stance of a Biden-Harris administration toward the Green New Deal? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Sure. So first of all, I will repeat, and the American people know, that Joe Biden will not ban fracking. That is a fact. That is a fact. I will repeat that Joe Biden has been very clear that he thinks about growing jobs, which is why he will not increase taxes for anyone who makes less than $400,000 a year. Joe Biden's economic plan, Moody's, which is a reputable Wall Street firm, has said will create 7 million more jobs than Donald Trump's. And part of those jobs that will be created by Joe Biden are going to be about clean energy and renewable energy. Because you see, Joe understands that the west coast of our country is burning, including my home state of California. Joe sees what's happening on the Gulf states, which are being battered by storms. Joe has seen and talked with the farmers in Iowa, whose entire crops have been destroyed because of floods. And so Joe believes, again, in science. I'll tell you something, Susan. I served when I first got to the Senate on the committee that's responsible for the environment. You know, this administration took the word science off the website and then took the phrase climate change off the website. We have seen a pattern with this administration, which is they don't believe in science. And Joe's plan is about saying we're going to deal with it, but we're also going to create jobs. Donald Trump, when asked about the wildfires in California, and the question was, you know, the science is telling us this, you know what Donald Trump said? Science doesn't know. So let's talk about who is prepared to lead our country over the course of the next 4 years on what is an existential threat to us as human beings. Joe is about saying we're going to invest that in renewable energy. It's going to be about the creation of millions of jobs. We will achieve net zero emissions by 2050, carbon neutral by 2035. Joe has a plan. This has been a lot of talk from the Trump administration, and really it has been to go backward instead of forward. We will also re-enter the climate agreement with pride.
Senator Harris just said that climate change is an existential threat. Vice President Pence, do you believe that climate change poses an existential threat?
As I said, Susan, the climate is changing. We'll follow the science. But once again, Senator Harris is denying the fact that they're going to raise taxes on every American. Joe Biden said twice in the debate last week that on day one he was going to repeal the Trump tax cuts. Those tax cuts delivered $2,000 in tax relief to the average family of 4 across America. And with regard to banning fracking, I just recommend that people look at the record. You yourself said repeatedly that you would ban fracking. You were the first Senate co-sponsor of the Green New Deal. And while Joe Biden denied the Green New Deal, Susan, thank you for pointing out The Green New Deal is on their campaign website. And as USA Today said, it's essentially the same plan as you co-sponsored with AOC when she submitted it in the Senate. And you just heard the senator say that she.
First, she asked him about the climate. And he went into, oh, she trying to not to tell you that she's gonna spend it. What are you talking about? Ask, do you believe in climate change or not? Did he answer that?
Nah. He said some rhetoric about the climate's changing and all that crap.
It went into she gonna spend money, right? You never got to the answer. I wonder if she gonna make him answer this question.
No, they don't want to do that.
President Trump
Thank
is
you,
going to
Vice
put
President.
America first. He's going to put jobs first, and we're going to take care of our environment and follow the science.
Thank you,
But,
Vice
you know, on the
President.
issue of jobs,
Senator Harris.
let's talk about that. The vice president earlier referred to, as part of what he thinks is an accomplishment, the president's trade war with China. You lost that trade war. You lost it. What ended up happening is because of a so-called trade war with China, America lost 300,000 manufacturing jobs. Farmers have experienced bankruptcy because of it. We are in a manufacturing recession because of it. And when we look at where this administration has been, there are estimates that by the end of the term of this administration, they will have lost more jobs than almost any other presidential administration. And the American people know what I'm talking about. You know, I think about 20-year-olds. You know, we have a 20-year-old, a 20-something-year-old who are coming out of high school and college right now, and you're wondering, is there going to be a job there for me? We're looking at people who are trying to figure out how they're going to pay rent by the end of the month. Almost half of American renters are worried about whether they're going to be able to pay rent by the end of the month. This is where the economy is in America right now, and it is because of the catastrophe and the failure of leadership of this administration.
Thank you, Senator Harris. Vice President Pence, let me give you just 15 seconds to respond because then I want to move on.
Well, I'd love to respond. Look, lost the trade war with China. Joe Biden never fought it. Joe Biden's been a cheerleader for communist China through over the last several decades. And again, Senator Harris, you're entitled to your opinion. You're not entitled to your own facts. When Joe Biden was vice president, we lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs. And President Obama said they were never coming back. He said we needed a magic wand to bring them back. In our first 3 years after we cut taxes, rolled back regulation, unleashed American energy, this administration saw 500,000 manufacturing jobs created. And that's exactly the kind of growth we're going to continue to see as we bring our nation through this pandemic. The Green New Deal, your massive new mandates, your Paris Climate Accord, it's going to kill jobs this time, just like it killed jobs.
I just need to respond very quickly.
15 seconds.
Thank you. Thank you. Joe Biden is responsible for saving America's auto industry, and you voted against it. So let's set the record straight. Thank you.
I'd like to talk about China. We have, as our next topic, we have no more complicated or consequential foreign relationship than the one with China. It is a huge market for American agricultural goods. It's a potential partner in dealing with climate change in North Korea. And in a video tonight, President Trump again blamed it for the coronavirus, saying China will pay. Vice President Pence, how would you describe our fundamental relationship with China? Competitors, adversaries, enemies? You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Susan. Well, before I leave that, let me speak to voting records if I can. You know, everybody knows that NAFTA cost literally thousands of American factories to close. We saw automotive jobs go south of the border. President Trump fought to renegotiate NAFTA in the United States, Mexico.
You see what he's doing? Yeah. He's basically doing the same thing that Trump doing, but he's doing it a gentleman way. He ain't being all over the top, but he's still doing the same thing, not answering questions.
And he just, like, she ain't doing this, she ain't.
Yeah. It don't have nothing to do with what she just asked you.
And the thing that's killing me with this moderation, she keep saying you got the
few seconds to respond to Hershey. Stop doing that.
You know? Kamala Harris was the most liberal member of the United States Senate in 2019. More liberal than Bernie Sanders, more liberal than any of the others in the United States Senate. So now with regard to China, look, Susan, first and foremost, China is to blame for the coronavirus. And President Trump is not happy about it. He's made that very clear, made it clear again today. And China and the World Health Organization did not play straight with the American people. They did not let our personnel into China to get information on the coronavirus until the middle of February. Fortunately, President Trump, in dealing with China from the outset of this administration, standing up to China that had been taking advantage of America for decades in the wake of Joe Biden's cheerleading for China, President Trump made that decision before the end of January to suspend all travel from China. And again, the American people deserve to know Joe Biden opposed President Trump's decision to suspend all travel from China. He said it was hysterical. He said it
Thank
was
you, Vice President
xenophobic.
Pence.
But President Trump
Vice
has
President
stood
Pence,
up
your
to
time is
China.
up.
We're going to continue to stand strong.
Thank you, Vice President Pence.
We want to improve the relationship, but we're going to level the playing field. We're going to hold
Vice President
China
Pence.
accountable for what they did to America with the coronavirus.
Thank you,
We were still talking. Huh?
Stop. She gotta cut the
the Vice
mic off.
President. How would you describe our fundamental relationship with China? Are we competitors, adversaries, enemies? You'll have 2 minutes.
I don't get. All right. The question she asked her, I'm not liking these questions.
Yeah, I know some talking that shit.
I'm not liking these questions. It's like, there's no time for this. It's like 20 days left. You got to get to the meat and potatoes. We ain't got time to be asking these dumb questions that they can fiddle around. You know what I'm saying? And 90% of Americans don't know what the fuck they talking about. When you start talking about healthcare and justice system, you know what I'm saying? Police brutality,
That's it for the last 90
Comment.
seconds.
then people get hate. You know what I'm saying? But when you start talking this bullshit about China and trade and NAFTA, fuck you. Nobody want to hear that shit, Slim. So I don't know why she even asking this shit. It ain't somebody from a black paper or something. Or somebody to come in and ask her some questions, man. But the questions we getting is just nonsense. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even about economics. I mean, I don't know. We want to see. It's probably dead.
You see, this chick right here, she from USA Today.
USA Today. That's a little shaky. Sometimes they licking Trump ass sometimes. You know. They don't go overboard like Fox, but they close. You know?
Yeah, Fox be wrapping
It
their
resulted in
mouths
the
around his
loss of
penis.
300
You best believe that.
manufacturing jobs and a manufacturing recession, and the American consumer paying thousands of dollars more for goods because of that failed war that they called it. Then let's talk about standing. Pew, a reputable research firm,
Yeah.
has done an analysis that shows that leaders of all of our formerly allied countries have now decided that they hold in greater esteem and respect Xi Jinping, the head of the Chinese Communist Party, than they do Donald Trump, the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief of the United States. This is where we are today because of a failure of leadership by this administration.
Senator Harris, we've seen changes in the role of the United States in terms of global leadership over the past 4 years. And of course, times do change. What's your definition? We've seen strains with China, of course, as the Vice President mentioned. We've seen strains with our traditional allies in NATO and elsewhere. What is your definition of the role of American leadership in 2020?
So, Joe is, I love talking with Joe about a lot of these issues. And, Joe, I think he said it quite well. He says, foreign policy, it might sound complicated, but really it's relationships. So just think about it as relationships. And so we know this in our personal and professional relationships. You got to keep your word to your friends. Got to be loyal to your friends. People who've stood with you, got to stand with them. You got to know who your adversaries are and keep them in check. But what we have seen with Donald Trump is that he has betrayed our friends and embraced dictators around the world. Let's take, for example, Russia. So Russia, I serve on the Intelligence Committee. of the United States Senate. America's intelligence community told us Russia interfered in the election of the President of the United States in 2016 and is playing in 2020. Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI, said the same. But Donald Trump, the commander-in-chief of the United States of America, prefers to take the word of Vladimir Putin over the word of the American intelligence community. You look at our friends at NATO. He has walked away from agreements. You can look at the Iran nuclear deal, which now has put us in a position where we are less safe because they are building up what might end up being a significant nuclear arsenal. We were in that deal, guys. We were in the Iran nuclear deal with friends, with allies around the country. And because of Donald Trump's unilateral approach to foreign policy, coupled with his isolationism, he pulled us out and has made America less safe. So, Susan, it's about relationships. And the thing that has always been part of the strength of our nation, in addition to our great military, has been that we keep our word. But Donald Trump doesn't understand that because he doesn't understand what it means to be honest.
Thank you, Senator Harris. Vice President, did somebody give you a chance to respond?
Well, thank you. Well, President Trump kept his word when we moved the American embassy to Jerusalem, the capital of the state of Israel. When Joe Biden was vice president, they promised to do that, and they never did. We've stood strong with our allies, but we've been demanding. NATO is now contributing more to our common defense than ever before, thanks to President Trump's leadership. We've strengthened our alliances across the Asia Pacific, and we've stood strong against those who would do us harm. You know, when President Trump came into office, ISIS had captured an area of the Middle East the size of Pennsylvania. But President Trump unleashed the American military, and our armed forces destroyed the ISIS caliphate and took down their leader, al-Baghdadi, without one American casualty. Al-Baghdadi was responsible for the death of thousands. But notably, America's hearts today are with the family of Kayla Mueller, her parents of which are here with us tonight in Salt Lake City. Today, 2 of the ISIS killers responsible for Kayla Mueller's murder were brought to justice in the United States. Jihadi John was killed on the battlefield along with the other Beetle. The reality is that when Joe Biden was vice president, we had an opportunity to save Kayla Mueller. It breaks my heart to reflect on it, but the military came into the Oval Office, presented a plan. They said they knew where Kayla was. Baghdadi had held her for 18 months, abused her mercilessly before they killed her. But when Joe Biden was vice president, they hesitated for a month. And when armed forces finally went in, it was clear she'd been moved 2 days earlier. And her family says with a heart that broke the heart of every American that if President Donald Trump had been president, they believe Kayla would be alive today.
Thank you, Vice
But
President.
we destroyed the ISIS caliphate. And you talk about re-entering the Iran nuclear deal. I mean, the last administration transferred $1.8 billion to the leading state sponsor
Thank you, Vice
of
President.
terrorism. President Donald Trump got us out of the
Thank you,
deal.
Vice President.
And when Qasem Soleimani was traveling to Baghdad
Thank you,
to
Vice
do harm
President.
to Americans, President Donald Trump took
Thank you,
him
Vice
out.
President.
And America is safer. Our allies are safer. And the American people know President Donald Trump will never
Thank you, Vice President.
take action.
I would like to give Senator Harris a chance to respond, but not at such great length because, of course, there are other topics we want to talk
But
about.
I would like equal time.
Yes,
Thank you.
please go ahead.
Yeah, please give her more time.
First of all, to the Mueller family, I know about your daughter's case, and I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You wasting your time.
What happened to her is awful, and it should have never happened.
Get to the point, Camilla.
And I know Joe feels the same way, and I know that President Obama feels the same way.
Oh my God, Camilla, get to the point.
But you mentioned Soleimani. Let's start there. So after the strike on Soleimani, there was a counter strike on our troops in Iraq. And they suffered serious brain injuries. And do you know what Donald Trump dismissed them as? Headaches. And this is about a pattern of Donald Trump's, where he has referred to our men who are serving in our military as suckers and losers. Donald Trump who went to Arlington Cemetery and stood above the graves of our fallen heroes and said, what's in it for them? Because of course, he only thinks about what's in it for him. Let's take what he said about John McCain, a great American hero.
Fuck McCain.
And Donald Trump says he doesn't deserve to be called a hero because he was a prisoner of war. And this is very important when you want to talk about who is the current commander-in-chief and what they care about and what they don't care about.
Nice.
Public reporting that Russia had bounties on the heads
There we go.
of American soldiers. And you know what a bounty is? It's somebody puts a price on your head and they will pay it if you are killed. And Donald Trump had talked at least 6 times to Vladimir Putin and never brought up the subject. Joe Biden would never do that.
Thank you.
Joe Biden would hold Russia to account for any threat to our nation's security or to our troops who are sacrificing their lives for the sake of our democracy and our safety.
Thank you, Senator Harris. This is such an important issue, but we have other important issues as well. And
Susan,
I want to make sure we have a chance.
I really have to
Talk about-
respond to that.
and-
Look, she has.
15 seconds, because
Well, I gotta
we're
have
trying
more
to
than
keep.
that. Look,
Well, I'm sorry, but Vice President,
Look,
but you've had more time than she's had so
the
far.
slanders against President Donald Trump regarding men and women of our armed forces are absurd.
I'm sorry, Vice
My
President
son is
Pence.
a captain in the United
Yes.
States Marine Corps. My son-in-law is deployed in the United States Navy. I can assure all of you, with sons and daughters serving in our military, President Donald Trump not only respects but reveres all of those who serve in our armed forces, and any suggestion otherwise is ridiculous.
But
Let
thank
me
you,
also
Vice
say,
President Pence.
the
Vice
American
President Pence,
people deserve, Susan,
Vice
the American
President,
people
I
deserve to
didn't,
know.
Vice President Pence, I did not,
Susan,
I did not create the
no.
rules for tonight.
Joe Biden.
Your
and Trump-
campaigns agreed to the rules for tonight's
I-
debate with the Commission on Presidential Debates. I'm here to enforce them, which involves moving from one topic to another, giving roughly equal time to both of you,
Correct.
which is what I'm trying very hard to do.
Go right ahead.
So I want to go ahead and move
Just
to
take
the
the
next
mic, though.
topic, which is an important one, as the last topic was, and that is the Supreme Court. On Monday, the Senate Judiciary Committee is scheduled to open hearings on Amy Coney Barrett's nomination to the Supreme Court. Senator Harris, you'll be there as a member of the committee. Her confirmation would cement the court's conservative majority and make it likely open to more abortion restrictions, even to overturning the landmark Roe v. Wade ruling. Access to abortion would then be up to the states. Vice President Pence, you're the former governor of Indiana. If Roe v. Wade is overturned, what would you want Indiana to do? Would you want your home state to ban all abortions? You have 2 minutes. Uninterrupted.
Well, thank you for the question, but I'll use a little bit of my time to respond.
Hold on, oh.
American people deserve to know Qasem Soleimani, the Iranian general, is responsible for the death of hundreds of American service members. When the opportunity came, we saw him headed to Baghdad to kill more Americans. President Trump didn't hesitate. And Qasem Soleimani is gone. But you deserve to know that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris actually criticized the decision to take out Qasem Soleimani. It's really inexplicable, but with regard to Joe Biden, it's explainable. Because history records that Joe Biden actually opposed the raid against Osama bin Laden. It's absolutely essential that we have a commander-in-chief who will not hesitate to act to protect American lives and to protect American service members. And that's what you have in President Donald Trump.
He didn't answer no one.
Now, with regard to the Supreme Court of the United States, let me say President Trump and I could not be more enthusiastic about the opportunity to see Judge Amy Coney Barrett become Justice Amy Coney Barrett. And she's a brilliant woman, and she will bring a lifetime of experience and a sizable American family to the Supreme Court of the United States. And our hope is, in the hearing next week, unlike Justice Kavanaugh received with treatment from you and others, we hope she gets a fair hearing. And we particularly hope that we don't see the kind of attacks on her Christian faith that we saw before. The Democrat chairman of the Judiciary Committee before, when Judge Barrett was being confirmed for the Court of Appeals, expressed concern that the dogma of her faith lived loudly in her.
Wait. She asked about Roe v. Wade, right?
He ain't gonna answer that.
And he flipped the question all the way back to something else that they discussed
I don't know.
two topics ago.
And how is her religion upholding laws? So my whole point is, the religion and the court gotta be separate. Your view is your view, but the law is the law. So of course they're gonna view on you about your religion. If you're a radical Christian coming in there eating that dumb shit, the law is the law. You going on religious beliefs. Religious beliefs don't belong in the court. Don't make sense. So of course they're gonna be hard on it. If you're one of them people that is overly biblical, then you only gonna see it from there. You gonna think that the law is underneath that. When the law is the only part of her job, that's the only part she need to be upholding. But that's you know.
Jay?
Well, the other thing is, she brought up a topic. He flipped the topic to a whole different area that does not have anything to do with Roe versus Wade.
I still ain't get the Roe v. Wade. You ain't
Not
get to
gonna
an
answer that.
I would hate that. I would hate for the moderator to ask him about Black Lives Matter.
No,
They're
ain't
going
gonna
to. But it's gonna be 10 minutes. It's gonna be a 1 minute conversation.
Only 2 minutes, he gonna do 3 talking dumb shit.
The decision about who would be the next president of the United States. And, you know, before, when this conversation has come up, you know, it's been about election year or election time. We're literally in an election. Over 4 million people have voted. People are in the process of voting right now. And so Joe has been very clear, as the American people are. Let the American people fill that seat in the White House, and then we'll fill that seat on the United States Supreme Court. And to your point, Susan, that the issues before us couldn't be more serious. There's the issue of choice, and I will always fight for a woman's right to make a decision about her own body. It should be her decision and not that of Donald Trump and the Vice President, Michael Pence. But let's also look at what else is before the court. It's the Affordable Care Act. Like, literally in the midst of a public health pandemic, when over 210,000 people have died and 7 million people probably have what will be in the future considered a pre-existing condition because you contracted the virus. Donald Trump is in court right now trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. And I said it before, and it bears repeating. This means that there will be no more protections if they win for people with pre-existing conditions. This means that over 20 million people will lose your coverage. It means that if you're under the age of 26, you can't stay on your parents' coverage anymore. And here's the thing, the contrast couldn't be more clear. They're trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. Joe Biden is saying, let's expand coverage. Let's give you a choice of a public option or private coverage. Let's bring down premiums. Let's lower Medicare eligibility to 60.
Thank you, Senator.
That's true leadership.
You know, you mentioned earlier, Vice President Pence, that the president was committed to maintaining protections for people with pre-existing conditions. But you do have this court case that you are supporting, your administration is supporting, that would strike down the Affordable Care Act. The president says, President Trump says that he's going to protect people with pre-existing conditions, but he has not explained how he would do that. And that was one of the toughest nuts to crack when they were passing the Affordable Care Act. So tell us specifically, how would your administration protect Americans with pre-existing conditions have access to affordable insurance if the Affordable Care Act is struck down?
Well, thank you, Susan. But let me just say, addressing your very first question, I couldn't be more proud to serve as Vice President to a president who stands without apology for the sanctity of human life. I'm pro-life. I don't apologize for it. And this is another one of those cases where there's such a dramatic contrast. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris support taxpayer funding of abortion all the way up to the moment of birth. Late-term abortion. They want to increase funding to Planned Parenthood of America. Now, for our part, I would never presume how Judge Amy Coney Barrett would rule on the Supreme Court of the United States, but We'll continue to stand strong for the right to life. When you speak about the Supreme Court, though, I think the American people really deserve an answer, Senator Harris.
Huh?
Are you and Joe Biden going to pack the court if Judge Amy Coney Barrett is confirmed? I mean, there have been 29 vacancies on the Supreme Court during presidential election years from George Washington, Barack Obama. Presidents have nominated in all 29 cases.
Where the fuck? I ain't saying
Your
it all
party
day
is
'cause I ain't
actually
packed.
openly advocating adding seats to the Supreme Court, which has had
Just
9
notice,
seats for
I'm right down.
150 years, if you don't get your way. This is a classic case of if you can't win by the rules, you're going to change the rules. Now, you refuse to answer the question. Joe Biden has refused to answer the question. So I think the American people would really like to know, if Judge Amy Coney Barrett is confirmed at the Supreme Court of the United States, are you and Joe Biden, if somehow you win this election, going to pack the Supreme Court to get your way?
I'm
Yeah,
so
no,
glad we
John,
went
man.
through a little history lesson. Let's do that a little more. In 1864.
Well, I'd like you to answer the question.
Mr. Vice President, I'm
Please.
speaking. I'm speaking.
Okay.
In 1864, one of the, I think, political heroes, certainly the president, I assume if you also, Mr. Vice President, is Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was up for re-election. And it was 27 days before the election. And a seat became open on the United States Supreme Court. Abraham Lincoln's party was in charge, not only of the White House, but the Senate. But Honest Abe said, not the right thing to do. The American people deserve to make the decision about who will be the next president of the United States. And then that person can select who will serve for a lifetime on the highest court of our land. And so Joe and I are very clear. The American people are voting right now. And it should be their decision about who will serve on this most important body for a lifetime.
Thank you,
And
Senator Harris.
People, Susan, are voting right now. They'd like to know if you and Joe Biden are going to pack the Supreme Court
talking about?
if you don't get
Wait.
your way in this nomination.
What he talking about? Pack? What do you keep saying that for?
Packing what?
With who? You already saying what y'all packing him with. You see what I'm saying?
Conservatives, pro-lifers.
What are you talking about, yeah?
Cherish our Supreme Court. If you cherish the separation of powers, you need to reject the Biden-Harris ticket. Come November the 3rd, re-elect President Donald Trump. And we'll stand by that separation of powers in a 9-seat Supreme Court.
Yeah, let's talk about packing the
Let's
court.
talk about separation of power.
Let's
yeah.
talk about
Please.
that. Yeah, I'm about to. So the Trump-Pence administration has been, because I sit on the Senate Judiciary Committee, Susan, as you mentioned, and I've witnessed the appointments for lifetime appointments to the federal courts, district courts, courts of appeal. People who are purely ideological, people who have been reviewed by legal professional organizations and found to have been not competent, are substandard. And do you know that of the 50 people who President Trump appointed to the Court of Appeals for lifetime appointments, not one is Black? This is what they've been doing. You want to talk about packing a court? Let's have that discussion.
Thank you, Senator.
I like
Let's go on and
that.
talk about the issue of racial justice.
I just want the record to reflect she never answered the question. But the American,
Thank
maybe
you.
the next debate, Joe Biden will answer the
Thank
question.
you,
But I think
thank
the
you.
American people will answer.
Thank you, Vice President.
Oh, he ain't answering that shit.
In March, Breonna Taylor, a 26-year-old emergency room technician in Louisville, was shot and killed after police officers executing a search warrant in a narcotics investigation broke into her apartment. The police said they identified themselves. Taylor's boyfriend said he didn't hear them do that. He used a gun registered to him to fire a shot, which wounded an officer. The officers then fired more than 20 rounds into the apartment. They say they were acting in self-defense. None of them have been indicted in connection with her death. Senator Harris, in the case of Breonna Taylor, was justice done? You have 2 minutes.
I don't believe so. And I've talked with Breonna's mother, Tamika Palmer, and her family. And her family deserves justice. She was a beautiful young woman. She had as her life goal to become a nurse, and she wanted to become an EMT to first learn what's going on out on the street, so she could then become a nurse and save lives. And her life was taken unjustifiably and tragically and violently. And it brings me to, you know, the 8 minutes and 46 seconds that America witnessed, during which an American man was tortured and killed under the knee of an armed, uniformed police officer. And people around our country of every race, of every age, of every gender, perfect strangers to each other, marched shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm, fighting for us to finally achieve that ideal of equal justice under law. And I was a part of those peaceful protests. And I believe strongly that, first of all, we are never going to condone violence, but we always must fight for the values that we hold dear, including the fight to achieve our ideals. And that's why Joe Biden and I have said on this subject, look, and I'm a former career prosecutor. I know what I'm talking about. Bad cops are bad for good cops. We need reform of our policing in America and our criminal justice system, which is why Joe and I will immediately ban chokeholds and carotid holds. George Floyd would be alive today if we did that. We will require a national registry for police officers who break the law. We will, on the issue of criminal justice reform, get rid of private prisons and cash bail, and we will decriminalize marijuana, and we will expunge the records of those who have been convicted of marijuana. This is a time for leadership on a tragic issue
Senator Harris,
of
your time
unarmed
is up.
Black people in America.
Thank you, Senator Harris. Vice President Pence, let me pose the same question to you. In the case of Breonna Taylor, was justice done? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Well, our heart breaks for the loss of any innocent American life.
I heard him say
And the
that.
family of Breonna Taylor has our sympathies. But I trust our justice system, a grand jury that refused the evidence. And it really is remarkable that as a former prosecutor, you would assume that an impaneled grand jury looking at all the evidence got it wrong, but you're entitled to your opinion, Senator. I think, and with regard to George Floyd, there's no excuse for what happened to George Floyd. Justice will be served. But there's also no excuse for the rioting and looting that followed. I mean, it really is astonishing. Flora Westbrook is with us here tonight in Salt Lake City. Just a few weeks ago, I stood at what used to be her salon, was burned to the ground by rioters and looters. And Flora is still trying to put her life back together. And I must tell you, this presumption that you hear consistently from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, that America is systemically racist. And that, as Joe Biden said, that he believes that law enforcement has an implicit bias against minorities, is a great insult to the men and women who serve in law enforcement. And I want everyone to know who puts on the uniform of law enforcement every day, and President Trump and I stand with you. And it is remarkable that when Senator Tim Scott tried to pass a police reform bill, brought together a group of Republicans and Democrats, Senator Harris, you got up and walked out of the room. And then you filibustered Senator Tim Scott's bill on the Senate floor that would have provided new accountability, new resources. But we don't have to choose between supporting law enforcement, improving public safety, and supporting our African American neighbors and all of our minorities. Under President Trump's leadership, we'll always stand with law enforcement and we'll do what we
Vice President
want to
Pence,
do,
thank you.
improve the lives of African Americans,
Thank you, Vice
record
President
unemployment, record
Vice
investments in
President Pence, your time
education,
is
and we'll
up.
fight for school choice for all of our
Thank you, Vice
Vice
President. Senator Harris.
I will not sit here and be lectured by the Vice President on what it means to enforce the laws of our country. I am the only one on this stage who has personally prosecuted everything from child sexual assault to homicide. I'm the only one on this stage who has prosecuted the big banks for taking advantage of America's homeowners. I'm the only one on this stage who prosecuted for-profit colleges for taking advantage of our veterans. And the reality of this is that we are talking about an election in 27 days, where last week the President of the United States took a debate stage in front of 70 million Americans and refused to condemn white supremacists.
There we go.
And
Not true.
it wasn't like he didn't have a chance.
We'll show
He
you
didn't
why.
do it, and then he doubled down. And then he said, when pressed, stand back, stand by. And this is a part of a pattern
Tulip.
of Donald Trump's. He called Mexicans rapists and criminals.
Yes,
He
yes.
instituted as his first act a Muslim ban. He, on the issue of Charlottesville,
Give my list.
where people were peacefully protesting the need for racial justice, where a young woman was killed. And on the other side, there were neo-Nazis carrying tiki torches, shouting racial epithets, anti-Semitic slurs. And Donald Trump, when asked about it, said, there were fine people on both sides. This is who we have as the President of the United States. And America, you deserve better. Joe Biden will be a president who brings our country together
Senator Harris.
and recognizes the beauty in our diversity and the fact that we all have
Thank
so
you.
much more in common than what separates us.
Vice President Pence, let me give you a minute to respond.
Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that very much. You know, I think this is one of the things that makes people dislike the media so much in this country, Susan, is that you selectively edit, just like Senator Harris did, comments that President Trump and I and others on our side of the aisle make. I mean, Senator Harris conveniently admitted after the president made comments about people on either side of the debate over monuments, he condemned the KKK, neo-Nazis, and white supremacists, and has done so repeatedly. You're concerned that he doesn't condemn neo-Nazis. President Trump has Jewish grandchildren. His daughter and son-in-law are Jewish. This is a president who respects and cherishes all of the American people. But you talk about having personally prosecuted. I'm glad you brought up your record, Senator.
Thank you.
But I really need to make this point. When you were DA in San Francisco, when you left office, African Americans were 19 times more likely to be prosecuted for minor drug offenses than whites and Hispanics. When you were Attorney General of California,
Thank you,
you
Vice President.
increased the disproportionate incarceration of
Thank you.
blacks in California. You did nothing on criminal justice reform in California. You didn't lift a finger
Thank
to
you.
pass the First Step Back on Capitol Hill. I mean, the reality is your record
Thank
speaks
you,
for
Vice
itself.
President.
President Trump and I have fought for criminal justice reform.
Thank you, Vice President.
We've fought for educational choice and opportunities for African Americans, all of our.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll do it for 4 months.
Thank you. You know, there is no more important issue than the final issue that we're going to talk about tonight, and that is the issue of the election
But
itself.
he attacked my record. I would like an opportunity to respond.
Let me give you 30 seconds because we're
I like it.
I appreciate that. First of all, having served as the Attorney General of the state of California, the work that I did is a model of what our nation needs to do, and we will be able to do under a Joe Biden presidency. Our agenda includes what this administration has failed to do. It will be about not only instituting a ban on chokeholds and carotid holes,
Thank you.
not only,
Thank you, Senator.
I would like to go through,
These are points that you
The
made
whole
earlier in
election
the hour, and I want to talk about the
Stop the
election
so-called-
itself before we have to.
but I want to talk about the connection between what Joe and I will do and my record, which includes, I was the first statewide officer to institute a requirement that my agents would wear body cameras and keep them on full time. We were the first to initiate a requirement that there would be a training for law enforcement on implicit bias, because yes, Joe Biden and I recognize that implicit bias does exist, Mr. Vice President, contrary to what you may believe. We did the work of instituting reforms that were about investing in reentry. This is the work that we have done and the work we will do going forward. And again, I will not be lectured by the Vice President on our record of what we have done in terms of law enforcement and keeping our communities safe and a commitment to reforming the criminal justice system of America.
Thank you, Senator Harris. I'd like to pose I'd like you to respond first to the question on our final topic, the election itself.
Yeah. Yeah. You knew you were gonna attack her past record.
I like it though. I like some of the shit I like it. She never slide on that. You know? Yeah. She was on point. She running for the laundry list. I like that. 2 lists. She went off the racist list. They had to stop her. There was more to go. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
5 hours worth of that.
Now she's going off the list of the Floyd Boyd bill. George Floyd bill. She's just admit. You heard her say it. First thing we want to do, radical real, is enact that. And police brutality. That's the first thing you heard that this time, right? Now this time I know you heard it. You know? And she went deep into the shit she wanted to do with the police. So I don't know how much more you wanted to hear from that. You know what I'm saying? Now I already knew he was a bigot. She couldn't put it out like they did Trump, but how can he say Trump didn't say stand down and all that?
Pence.
What are you talking about?
I say stand ready.
Stand back and stand by.
Stand by. And Lane was trying to shoot up.
Did you see the same joke we saw? What are you talking about?
That means get ready, because it's going down. That's what that means.
Let's believe that. So how you feel, real about what she doing? What's going on there?
She draw out her statements too long, man. She need to shorten her stuff up. Get to the point. Slice and dice, you know what I'm saying? She trying to gouge. She gotta keep it moving. She see the moderator ain't in her favor. Just things you gotta understand, you know what I'm saying? She actually never have been in the debate team, so you gotta be ready to go. Stick and move to the next, you know. Her statement in hands is just drawn out. Like,
Nah,
dude,
his
it's a
shit-
fucking point. Yeah.
His shit was dry.
Yeah.
He was on the top.
His needs some lotion on this shit.
I'm like, these people suck at public speaking.
And then she asked him the question, and he deflected the Jones
Well, that's
with
the
different
difference.
types of questions.
They train him well. As a Republican, he trained it to not answer, but leave him in doubt. You know what I'm saying? But answer, but not answer.
Yeah, he ain't answered too much.
Yeah, it's just shit.
And she want to answer, but she just takes too long to get to the point.
I mean, I didn't know she was the first to do the body cams. What do you think about
In her
that?
section. Whatever, in LA or something. Yeah. But I mean, that should be mandatory. So that's what I'm like, come on, people. Some of this shit is just fuck Republican. It just gotta be both have to mandate this. I mean, like he said, we stand behind the police officer. Yeah, we stand behind the police officer. To an extent, that don't mean they get to do what the fuck they want.
But the way he said it,
Yeah, they get to do what the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Or what they're told to do by them, which is fuck people up, keep them in line. Come on, man. We passed this, man. She's right, though. Biden can bring it. Well, you can't try bring it back together because Trump damn sure divided us. He did it on purpose. Now, Tennessee is out there. Now, it ain't just you hating other races. You hating color blue, too. Everybody is now. It's like, what the fuck? How we going to hate the people supposed to protect us?
The battle lines is drawn with this fucker in office. But
They got to take accountability. Some way, somehow, the next president of the term, they got to make the police take accountability for what they do. If not, it's a failed term for any president. Because that's going to destroy us. And because it ain't going to be too many more. You got what? One more Breonna Taylor's happening? One more George Floyd, and it's all out chaos?
I won't be good.
Yeah, it's going to be all out motherfucking chaos. You talking about the rioting afterwards. And she should have slammed him. Like, man, you know how many times they done went and burnt down the black community and nobody get too fucked about it?
he sit there and said, she is building back up. It's taking so long.
You donate some money to her. Help her move.
Good. Won't you donate some money to her?
But he ain't answered the question with the Roe v. Wade because we all know.
He answered that.
If it's in Indiana and he's the governor of Indiana, then you ain't getting no abortion in Indiana.
He ain't do the George Floyd bill either.
So what that is, yeah, he's not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't answered none of that shit.
Why would he answer
None of that.
You're going to say he's standing behind a police officer. Textbook, so the police unit in his pocket.
What you think, Jay? What you hear?
I hear a bunch of bullshit from him. I know she trying to get her answers together. It is kind of long, drawn out, and a little chippy, but he just dry as shit. He is just straight up and down dry as shit. And then the most important questions that they asking them, basically deflecting them like Trump did, not denouncing white supremacists.
Not even answering that shit.
He still didn't denounce it. He's backed up Trump saying, how y'all media did this and media did that. I was like, I still ain't hear y'all denounce it.
Exactly.
Say here and now, I denounce it.
That's because he's doing exactly what they always been doing. Let's flip the narrative saying that the media is this, media is that. And sad to say, a lot of these people out here is sitting there like, yeah, the media do be editing that shit. I'm like, dog, for real.
You can't edit if you don't say it.
Nigga, he said stand back, stand down, whatever the fuck.
Stand by.
I talked to somebody the other day and they was like, that was pre-recorded. I was like, what? I was like, you don't even need to talk to me.
No. He said what he said.
He said
it was live.
Matter of fact, won't he tell you in your face so you can really understand what he's saying? And that was talking to an Oreo cookie. I don't need that.
It was live though.
You gotta stop saying that though.
What?
Oreo cookies.
It was live. So everybody heard what they heard when he said it. There's no cutting nothing up and all that. He said it.
And then when he said it, everybody was like, huh?
I don't get it. But it's America. That's how America want to be. But my whole point is, like Rabbit say, it's the point now we see the lines are drawn. You vote for this dude and you showing us what you really believe. It ain't because you get a tax break or nothing like that. You really stand behind this idiotic, stupid shit that they spitting out of his mouth right now. And not just him, the whole party of them. If them two, the top ones talking like this, imagine how the rest of them talk. And how can you allow them to put anybody in there when they gonna have the same belief? So therefore, you add another motherfucker to the Supreme Court that's going to think and talk like they do. It's just stupid. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Motherfuckers be behind a closed curtain and be like, man, fuck them niggas. They need to be hung anyway. And then they'll be in your face and, y'all be thinking they cool and shit.
You rather don't believe people like that. He believes the way they are out in the public, that's how they is. Right. They in the back of the room saying, yeah, we got to come up with a clever scheme to do some diabolical shit. He don't believe in that. That's conspiracy theory.
Everything is fake news.
Yeah.
Or media made up.
He said fake news.
You was on mic. The man was on the mic. Cutting, fucking biting off at that, talking about some stand back and stand by and not denouncing the motherfucking racial group. It was bad.
Even if you're not white supremacist, you vote for Trump, you are white supremacist.
It was
blank.
But what about the black ones that do vote for?
You the worst kind.
There's no excuse, yo.
You the worst type of overtime.
All I say is just no excuse, dog. None.
So like when Megan Thee Stallion did that performance last Saturday, and she said,
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, to sell out Negroes like Daniel Cameron. Got people like, Oreo cookies.
Yeah.
Some Oreo cookies.
Oreo cookies.
That's not a term we use.
She don't want to fuck her money up already. She already got shot in 2 pinky toes.
No, that was staged.
She don't want to do that. You said that was weird?
That was staged. You get shot in the motherfucking toe, you got a boot on, and you on Instagram with your foot in the air like, look, this motherfucker shot me, y'all. I ain't doing no walking. If you got shot in both of them, and you really just fucked.
I know, yeah.
Pow, pow!
She should have been doing too much of nothing.
It's all good. Yeah, it was a very disappointing.
I mean, overall the debates, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be what you think. Like I told you from the other one, everybody gonna like what they like and shit. But some of them joints was nice when they got into the joint when she went into start running off the list and shit in front of these niggas. He had to change subject. I like that. That I like.
Like my man Teddy Pendergrass say, wake up everybody. No more sleeping in bed.
You know?
Shit has gotten real. Shit has gotten real bad and real fast. These motherfuckers is not denouncing the white supremacy.
Why would they?
We're going back exactly where we used to be.
Yeah, we ain't going that far back.
We ain't going that far back, but they trying to make the narrative that the police is great, the police is your friend. So you can have this in your head, you can walk down the street, and then bam, you get slammed up against the wall. And then what you gonna do? You gonna still vote for Trump because of that? Nah, don't do that. Don't set yourself up.
They learned from Donald J. Trump.
I know he had the drink back in the day, and y'all was buying that shit like that. For me personally, I wasn't buying it like that. I wasn't buying no Donald Trump, no Donald liquor. Y'all remember that liquor? Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah, exactly. And if you support him, fuck you too.
They said, what law that Donald Trump made that really impacted your lives? I was like, dang. No, yeah, that's what they said. Dog. They said, you just dislike Donald Trump just because of Donald Trump.
I keep telling people, man, it's real easy.
No.
Now,
I don't like-
what did he do to impact your lives and make y'all dislike this man so much? This is just the rhetoric I get hit with. I was like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? This man is not a good human being. This is the question people be asking. Why do you dislike Donald Trump so much? What has he done to directly impact you as a person? And I was like, young.
Yeah.
Did they give you an answer?
Again,
What would they? They asked me the question. I ain't.
our history is being slaves, being treated like fucking dogs and trash by the white man. Come the fuck on. It's easy explanatory, yo. Like, what you mean nigga, this nigga support all that. If we was back there right now, they would be trying to whip us. Fuck is you talking about? So fuck that. Tripping.
You just dislike Donald Trump. Why, dog? Why you dislike Donald Trump?
Just explain, man.
No. Why you dislike Donald Trump? Cut that
My
shit.
arch nemesis is a bigot, racist. That's them. Right there.
All right, so women will find out that your man Joe Biden was a bigot. You be mad too.
How you find that out?
I don't know, but there's no point. That's the question. If you was a bigot too, then what?
We find it out the same way we just find out with these two. They talking. He ain't talking all this shit.
Hey, I'm just like,
Too late.
answer the question, dog. So what you gonna do then? You still gonna vote blue?
There's no way you find that out.
Yeah, you can.
In 20 days, now you find
Okay,
out.
yeah, 20 days you can't. But yeah, you can find out.
Got plenty of motherfucker evidence to know that's a racist over there. And I don't like them.
You don't like racist.
Nah.
So that's the only dislike of
I
Donald
don't
Trump.
want a racist bigot making decisions.
Yeah, so he's racist and he's bigot. That's why you don't
And
like
he's
him.
my arch enemy.
He your arch enemy.
Yeah.
You
Anything
don't know you
racist and
exist
bigot,
yet. You don't know you exist.
that's a black man arch enemy.
I could give you a couple of reasons why.
All right, Jay, give me a reason, Jay.
In 1973, the United States Department of Justice, under the Nixon administrator, out of all administrators, sued the Donald Trump Management Corporation for violating the Fair Housing Act. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? That means that Trump had refused to rent to black tenants. That's what that means.
That's his stupidity. Money.
That means that he refused to rent to black African Americans. Why is that? Because considers them at the bottom of the barrel. Like they're not established like how he is established. But he's established, but then he did so many business deals that fucked him over. This man had filed Chapter 11 so many damn times that you can't even make a baby no more when you 40.
If you don't know why you don't like this round, you trip.
Nah, I mean, it sounds personal with y'all, too. That's it. It
He's
ain't
a fucking
a
bigot.
track record. It's just personal. Y'all just don't like the man just because y'all don't like the man.
Yeah,
He's a bigot.
You're
He's a
being a
racist.
racist. That's one reason why y'all don't like this man.
That's
Not for
enough
what
of
he
you.
did in America, not what he did to America, not for the bills he put on you personally. It affects you personally.
He disgusted me out before he was elected. So how does that change?
So it's personal. It's not business, it's personal.
Because they snuck him in there. He's still a bigot, a racist, a
It's
slimy
business,
pig
It's business.
that probably raped your daughter. Y'all skip all the good shit.
How you giving that? I'm just asking, though.
I'm going on the list.
Yeah,
He might
I
steal
understand.
your money. He's a fucking slimy pig. Like, what more you need?
This is rapping feelings right now. He ain't
I'm
giving
giving
no
you the facts.
No, I need the facts, though.
You steal people money with the fake college? What are you talking about?
Here you go.
You taking niggas' money now as a president. He's a slimy piece of
Here's
shit.
another one. There's another one.
That ain't got to do with racism right there.
There's another one. 1989.
This is a pig.
The Central Part 5. What'd he do? Bring back the black death penalty. Is that what he said? Bring back the death penalty for 5 folks that did not have any DNA or any involvement with a rape and an assault of a jogger in 1989. Them kids spent that time, when they was at the time, that they spent all them years in jail for nothing.
But he wasn't the only one with that. Now, he brought attention to it, but it was a prosecutor who prosecuted him when she had no evidence for real. There was an attorney general. A lot of people was involved in that, not just him.
Yeah,
He just brought a spotlight to it.
Yeah, he just brought a spotlight to
Okay,
it that,
so
that
yeah.
fucked it over, you know.
But, personally,
But people, you got people him, and you got people like him that follow the fucking same current, because he bring the spotlight to it, but underground you got her, messing around with evidence, and you got other people messing with evidence, the police up there. Then when it's all said and done, they still ain't get what they deserve. They had $41 million to split. Man, they need to get they need more than that. I'm gonna be honest, they need more than that. That's just a quarter. That's almost a little fraction what Breonna Taylor's family got, and that's just not right. But in Milwaukee, you had a black officer that shot an Australian woman, and he gets 12.5 years like that. Why is that?
Blue eyes don't matter when you're black.
Right. Let's bring the spotlight to that.
That's a blue lives matter problem right there.
Right.
Anytime blue lives matter come to me and say blue lives matter, I'm just like, yeah, it didn't matter in Milwaukee.
It didn't matter in PG County because it was another one, and he got 35.
But that's the justice. I mean, I want to see they wrong or wrong. I don't care if they get off or not. They did wrong. They just put a search on. I'm mad that the ones who also did wrong of a Caucasian complexion didn't need to do something.
Right.
That's my whole point.
That's my point. So why are we at this point in time where we have president and vice president? Of course they ain't gonna denounce, what they denounce, but what they represent personally and business-wise is not what is the reason why I don't exactly fuck with them. Not only the racism thing, it's just that Trump, he runs his shit like a dictator. And you know who his best friend is? Vladimir Putin. So that tells you the green light right there, something is wrong.
If I was him and the motherfucker put a hitman on my motherfucking soldiers, I'd say for every bounty you probably I'm about to send a nuclear warhead and straight at Russia. Do you want to rethink that?
And that's the other thing. Why would he just sit back, letting that shit happen?
Yeah, there's no way I'm talking to you, man.
You know what? You don't even need to be sitting up here.
The fuck
That's
nigga,
right.
what you doing, man?
And they still got bounties on them soldiers. As we now speak.
Got bounties on my soldiers, all right. You see that submarine is heading right towards Moscow. And my bullshit. Got ice cut blades and all that good shit.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, but the real reason why I don't prefer like Trump, he a dirty dude. And it ain't his person is he has a track record of just being a lying motherfucker. But I appreciate him for showing us that much as rappers think the world has changed, it has not. In some parts of the world, it's still 1710, and 1719, and 1864. And that's my whole point right there. And I'm trying to get the rappers' head.
It's personal to me.
And I'm trying to get the rappers' head. Just because the red Democrats stole it and bigot, don't mean the blue one's not. And that's my whole point about the whole system.
It's
You
personal
think
to me.
because they show it, they don't only want them. Because they out front of it. Y'all just got the heart that they don't really know what happened to them.
No.
Blue one's sneaky with that shit.
No, yeah.
The blue one, the shit went south and they got me to say they would let it go again. That's my whole point, right?
No.
That's my whole point, bro. That's all I'm trying to talk about. You know, I ain't trying, like, you know what I'm saying? When I say the system wrong, it was built wrong. So if it's built wrong, the only way you can correct it is you start anew. You start anew, shit won't have to fall. And they don't want that shit to fall. And people like rappers just want to keep it going, and that means adjust it as we go. But no, at some point, when you bent too far, the motherfucking you got to start from scratch. You can't keep tracing once you trace it in the paper. Once you fuck up with enough, you got to start all over again. So you got to start anew. I know we ain't want that's the conversation nobody in the world want to hear right now. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Everybody's saying it's crazy in the world and all that, but you got to respect America, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't built for everybody. And how you gonna say the country for everybody? Everybody got a chance. When obviously we see it, we got a track record of not just a few years, hundreds of years of it not being made for everybody. So take that out of your statement and say America made for everybody. It's not. It really isn't.
Unless
You can make it, you can make it. It's not even that. That don't even get you so far. At the end of the day, it's like, oh, they killed that woman. They saw you as a black man. You thought you was OJ. She was a black man. You're not getting on, dog. There ain't no way around it. And until that's fixed, you know when you fix that, and everybody says, well, it's not systemic. It is. So the only way you fuck with a tree, you got to pull that motherfucker all the way up by the root. The root means all the way from scratch. Rebuild it, sit down, legit conversation, and we can move forward. And you got to admit what you did was wrong. I hate the fact that nobody wants to hold y'all accountable for that. Until y'all do that, the country will never heal.
Reparation.
No, not just reparations. You gotta sit down, look all of us African Americans, Indians, and Asians, and all the people you fucked over a lot of people too. You do your history, you really gonna see how much they fucked over people.
Yeah.
Admit what the fuck you did. Apologize for what you did. Yeah, you might not did it yourself. We get that, but you benefited from it, and you was a witness to it. And you didn't say shit about it. Do that first, then we can go from there. But until you do that, it's resentment is gonna be there, hate gonna be there. There's always gonna be a motherfucking grudge. Now, how that go for the future generations? I don't know. They might be a little bit more endowed to do some dumb shit that we wasn't thinking about doing. We killing each other. They might start killing y'all. I don't want that. Just saying. So y'all didn't think about that, but yeah, America, you gotta apologize. I know it's a taboo thing in the world to do. You personally didn't do it. You benefited from it. Apologize.
Yeah.
Apologize.
400 years of free slavery.
And it sounds like these stupid ass motherfuckers. You can be red Republican. We get that.
Obama already apologized.
Obama apologize. What you coming from Obama? What's that gonna do? That's 50%.
And
He's 50%. Clinton, not Clinton, he apologized.
I mean, how many presidents you want to do?
Not the president. I'm talking about the whole system that apologized. Big ceremony.
Even though we know that ain't gonna never happen.
I know.
Because you got
Too much pride.
You got to involve the NRA. You got to involve the Stone Mountain people, Pride Boys, all these groups, and it's like it ain't gonna never happen.
I know.
And they won't admit that they wrong. Like the Indians,
They don't believe they did nothing wrong, and that's the whole point.
starting off with the Indians. The Indians was here first, but yeah, they walk around talking about son. Why don't you go back to where you came from? Well, I'm like, what the fuck? You come back where you came from?
So I think I'm thinking debate over now. So
Yeah, that shit need to be over.
I just think
this is dry and trash.
there's just no time. I mean, to me personally, we ain't need a debate, but They ain't do anything different. She did basically what I thought she was gonna do. You know? And she got in all the good points, but that's all she can do. You know? She can't, like, I ain't going away from this thinking she left something on the table. She spit all that shit out. They had to stop her a couple times. She would have kept going. You know?
Yeah, she tried to push.
She's spitting out facts that y'all already knew. He's spitting out dumb shit. He just ducking and diving and slipping.
She made it clear. The first thing they fucking going to do is just George Floyd. Clear.
Try, but they can't get.
I ain't hear the man on the other side.
Yeah, he ain't gonna.
See, this is the difference between me and you when you start talking about they bigots and racists and shit like that. It only counts to me is when they lash out. Like, Trump is a lash out racist, right? I felt like Bush was a bigot, you know?
But he ain't lash out, so you ain't care.
But when you got these two,
We had to tolerate that shit.
they lashing out. They racist. That's a big difference. When the policies are racist, that's when it's a problem.
So all the other
I'm sitting here and thinking to myself, like, I don't know, I think this is big, man. You know? But then if the policy's not big, then I just my feelings.
So what was wrong with Reagan then?
The Reagan's some trash.
All right.
Right.
Motherfucker.
Well, no, bro, blew the shit out of the other night. I'm gonna say he's a good president.
I know, hey, you tripping,
Fuck, he gonna be a good president.
Yeah, I ain't want to say that about that, but yeah, you tried that shit. Reagan was trash. The first Bush was trash too, right?
Yeah, he
All
was.
that shit was trash.
Yeah, so first Bush was bigoted.
Man.
Felt like it. All right then, so that's what I'm saying, dog. You been doing
But the policies what? Reagan's
That's
what?
motherfucking lie. Bush policy, the first
What
one
was
was good.
All his shit was. See, that's what I mean. It can be different and Republican, but most of the shit they do is gonna be down the middle. Until you get a racist bigot like this, then most of the shit gonna be all to the right. That's the problem. See, George Bush ain't do nothing specifically racist. He showed his bigotry by flying over motherfucking New Orleans. But his policies wasn't nothing. He helped that situation. He helped AIDS in Africa. His policies wasn't racist.
Oh yeah, so after he sent you to Africa to fight, then he helped your AIDS over there.
So it's hard to, I know I felt in my gut like I do 90% of white people walking around. I've been telling people since I've been alive. But we ain't realized until motherfuckers, they voted a racist there. They ain't realize there's a lot of them out here.
Yeah, a lot of them, dog.
It's too late now. We've been telling you that shit.
They look at you now. They're like, yeah, I got heart now.
You grab any rapper in the 90s CDs, they telling you all the bigots. Right?
Yeah, but you ain't believe that.
These bigots all over the place.
Yeah.
The police taking shit from us. You know what I'm saying? That shit was
The
going
90s
on.
and the
They just take our money. Don't say a motherfucking thing.
That's what they your money. It's their money.
Take the coat. Leave you on the side of the corner. Get your car towed. All that shit. You sitting there with no coat, no money, but you ain't locked up, so you don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They dirty as fuck. They been like this. This shit is just.
And you cool with that, right?
They been doing all this shit. Dog.
I know.
Shit
So
ain't
you
nothing
don't
new.
want that to change.
Nothing new.
You don't want that system to change.
As long as the motherfucking policies, that's all I care about. That's when I start feeling the shit. When you start talking taking care from care away. That's policies that fucks me up. I don't like that. That's what I mean. When you start talking about not holding police accountable, that shit up, you know.
They ain't holding them accountable nowhere.
You gotta do something.
40 years, 300 years.
What Shorty say? Standing there in 2020. The black lady told you clearly
Who?
what she want to do.
That
Not only do she want to do that, she want to do more. Get police locked up, Slim. She went in a list of shit.
You
A
mean
whole
that,
list.
that Curry Goat woman?
Come on, man, you ain't want to hear it.
I heard it. I heard a
All
lot of
right.
it.
There's nothing else she can do but get elected and then do it. Then you hold their feet to the fire with shit that helps you. You can't hold bigots to the fire. They don't want to help you. So fuck them. That's why I don't like niggas like Trump. Like, you can't tell me, oh, what about you now? No, nigga. He's a fucking racist and a bigot. That's enough. Literally. I'm a black motherfucker. I'm truly black. I start podcast off telling you I'm black and I'm proud. So anything in my arch nemesis is a fucking bigot and a racist, I can't stand it. Simple as that. And it's for you to ask me and be like, oh, why you like him? Nigga, you serious?
I got asked that question. I thought I would pass it along, though. You know,
What's wrong with these people?
that's what I said. I said that shit in my head. You know, somebody tell you something, you just like, okay.
Shit's real ill.
Thank you. Now I know you bigoted, but okay. And man, I'm like, yeah, you're bigoted. Why we even still talking, but you know what I'm saying? That's all good. But yeah, it was like, don't directly, you overreacting. I know, like you said, people be listening to podcasts. Shout out to these people listening to it.
He's a bigot.
I know. Please don't come at me at work, though.
I don't like bigots. I don't like bigots.
I can't say nothing. You know, I'm on the job. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, after I leave out the door, we good. You
I
know,
don't like bigots. Simple as that.
you don't like big.
We capped this up with. I mean, she did all right. I would have done more, but she did good for her. You know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is everybody's on Trump's side is a bigot.
Yeah, she ain't fuck it up though. So that's it. That's all I can ask for. Don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up.
Yeah. Other than that, your man didn't stumble and bubble. So if they have another one, I don't know. Y'all think they should have another one? With Trump and Biden?
Yeah, probably like a week
I
before.
don't even want to hear nothing else. I keep telling you, man, it's nothing they can say.
It is. Trump
He's
gonna tell
a
you something.
fucking racist.
Trump say he's gonna give you $1,000 tax break or something.
I don't care, dog. That nigga is a racist. Everything stops.
Everything stops.
I can't even hear you no more. You're a racist, dog. So you can't even bribe me because I can't hear you. Nothing coming out your mouth. I can't hear nothing.
So if you just hard on racists, how are you hard on as my man from Kentucky? What that nigga name is? If you that hard on a racist, then you should be extra harder on that fake ass nigga who out there playing the game.
I'm hard on all black
No.
I got a list.
Cameron,
Have you been on this podcast?
Yeah, all I hear is Killer Mike and somebody else. That's all you speak about.
It's a long list.
Not these real ones out here, like this man.
It's a long list.
Like this man in Kentucky or Louisville, wherever the fuck he at.
Daniel Cameron.
Darren Cameron,
Long
that man right
list.
there. I don't speak his name no more. He on my shit list. If I see that nigga, I'm gonna make his motherfucking sandwich real good. I'm gonna get that super special sauce. Free on me. All right, go ahead and eat that, dog.
Then he you know, he had to reply back to Meg Thee Stallion performance, and he said people like that got a mob mentality.
Nigga, wrong is wrong, right is right. There ain't nothing he can say. Any person of justice, the justice was served.
Hold on, yeah, and then that was the other thing. He said, I looked through the facts, and I believe that justice was served based on the facts that what they got. I saw they had ballistics. The guy shot one shot on the floor. The one police officer that got shot in the leg got shot from the other officer.
Exactly, yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, that's the end of the debate, man. We're going to switch gears a little bit. This Third Perspective podcast. That's Jay, Radical Real, you know. So that's the end of the debate. I give him a C. I give her a C. That's all I can do for her. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't all that great. That's average.
It's not. I was reaching with that. You know what I'm saying?
It really was.
You know? But like I was, when you were saying, what's his name? What's the Attorney General about?
Yeah.
Daniel Oreo Cookie Cameron.
You know?
Fucking Oreo cookie, nigga. That's a one with the brown shit in the middle of it. What they call that motherfucker? The Halloween one. Black and orange. Just put that orange motherfucker.
And Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
And then his granddaughter he married.
But I get where Rabbit coming from with the racist white people. But the black people who supports this shit, he lets off the hook. All he talking about is Killer Mike and somebody else after Killer Mike.
Not because they
Ice
black.
Cube. And it's because they black. And
That's
that's you.
worse to me.
And I'm like, dude, you gotta get after them because this man in Kentucky, we gotta destroy this man. I want him right off the face of the earth. I want him to move to Canada. I want him to hide somewhere in Moscow. Go
He
over
one
there.
of the number one Republicans. They love him.
Yeah, fix that, dog.
He ain't going nowhere.
Y'all got ostracize this man out of the community, dog. He gotta walk on the other street. He should be like one of them scared, faking like they scared white women who grab their purse. That's how he gotta be.
The thing that gets me is that, let's say for instance the shoe was on the other foot, and he was born back in a time where everything was segregated. Black was black. You can't drink from a black. You can only drink from a black water fountain. You can't drink from white water fountain. Motherfucker, if they see you, you're gonna be drinking out the black motherfucker water fountain. And people like him just don't get it. Like they just look at you and they see your skin, but they using you because you can sway some black voters or
No,
whatever.
they're giving them power, and he giving them what they want. Somebody to go against what
His own
somebody
creed.
like Rabbit would be saying, he going against that. So therefore, he's putting doubt in the people that Rabbit trying to keep on the same team. Then maybe there ain't no racists out there. Maybe we're just all stupid. No, they're there. They just been chilling. Your man Trump doesn't come to the front. And you're not helping. And that's my whole point. These are more detrimental to 10 Trumps. It's them people.
Yeah, because they hurt their own community.
And that's why I said the community itself, and I hate to say this, y'all be united and get rid of these motherfuckers. I mean, total wipeout. Make them go live in Venezuela or something, man. We don't need to see them no more.
Let's hear what he said about Meg Stein. Now he said something about it earlier because you know how she did Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And they getting their feelings, but they always go to Fox with that shit.
You know?
The most disrespected, unprotected, neglected person in America is the black woman.
Over the weekend, Megan Thee Stallion made her Saturday Night Live performance. Black women behind her on the set during her song Savage, and as well including audio of activist Tamika Mallory's scathing takedown of the Breonna Taylor indictment.
We need to protect our black women and love our black women. Because at the end of the day, we need our black women.
And the powerful performance was not taken kindly by Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, who shared his thoughts on Fox News, Fox and Friends Tuesday morning.
Well, let me just say I agree that we need to love and protect our black women. There's no question about that. But the fact that someone would get on national television and make disparaging comments about me because I'm simply trying to do my job is disgusting.
Cameron.
Disgusting.
Keep
What
playing,
part of that
keep
is
playing,
his job?
keep playing the video.
What part of that is his job, though?
Getting cops off for doing illegal.
Black Attorney General elected in the state announced last month that none of the police officers involved will be charged in connection to the fatal shooting of Breonna Taylor.
The fact that a celebrity that I've never met before wants to make those sorts of statements, they don't hurt me, but what it does, it exposes the type of intolerance that people, and the hypocrisy, because obviously people preach about being tolerant. You see a lot of that from the left about being tolerant, but what you saw there is inconsistent with tolerance. In fact, it's her espousing intolerance because I've decided to stand up for truth and justice.
ET Canada has reached out to Megan's rep for
That's
comment.
the part that got me. Truth and justice.
Really? American way.
Well, yeah, that part is true. It is the American way.
So he stand for truth and justice?
No motherfucking way.
Yeah, and that's the American way.
Smack the shot that motherfucker saying that lie like that. We're part of what that happened is justice. Tell me what part of it is justice. Giving them money?
You know?
That's why.
That justice?
That's why I said keep playing the video because it's gonna piss you off. He said it is true.
Intolerance. Why would we tolerate a blatant wrongdoing by somebody officials that's supposed to protect us? Who would tolerate that? We're tired of tolerating that. He should be tired of that toleration. I know he's tired of shoveling shit.
Well, what do you mean by doing his job? You ain't doing your job, man.
Oh, his job, he doing it all right.
He doing his job all right. He wrapped his mouth around them white racist ass dicks.
He pretty much.
Sometimes, man, as a person, man, you're more of a spirit. It got awakened, dog. It's in there some motherfucking way. You ain't buried it that far.
You have to.
I'm like, dude, I look at her like, man.
The other person that pissed me off.
One of y'all gotta get got, man. I be like, one of y'all gotta get got.
Of course, Candace Owens. She said that it is her fault that she's dealing with all these people, you know,
she the worst
and shit. I'm like,
she the worst. But they on the same page, both of them. So
But my thing is, what do he mean about he not doing anything? Dog, you can't try to tell us that you ain't do extra to get these people off. You're not gonna try to make us think that.
And the fact that the jury want them to release their tapes and telling you they tried to go after these people, but you told them not to.
Yeah, he recommended them to not give them any murder charge.
So once he did that, that's already taking them off the hook. They going after these people like legitimately trying to get after these people. You tell them no, they can't go after that charge. They gotta go after something else. And then once you get into go after something else, then you can get that removed because that ain't what it was about. So how you doing your job again?
You're getting charged for a bullet to go into another person's wall.
Next door.
Next door. Not exactly Breonna Taylor's death.
No.
It tells you a lot of the systematic issues here. Shit. Michael Vick spent 2 years fighting dogs.
We love animals.
It's true. But they treat animals better than they treat African Americans. African Americans was forced to be here to build up this country.
Yep.
And then you toss them away like trash.
Yep.
Like, yeah, we don't need y'all no more. Fuck.
Oh, and they want you to shut up about it. Please stop talking to us about it. I don't want to hear about that. I didn't do it. I wasn't around back then.
But you still kissing your forefathers' ass about it.
Still profited off of it.
Still profit of it. That's why they got systematic millionaires out there. Because systematically, because of the slaves, they have to build their money up of a period of time, which was over 400 years of free labor.
Why y'all still complaining about 40 years? Y'all can pull yourself up.
How you gonna do that? And you got foreigners come here to get better credit than you do.
All I hear is excuses. If black community stuck together and stop killing each other, then maybe y'all be better. People don't understand shit they say out of their mouth. I'm just looking at my
I just look at them too. I be like,
do you actually hear yourself?
You need to unwrap your mouth from that penis.
Yeah.
and you need to shut the fuck up.
And I love my Africans and brothers and sisters who come from Africa. And I get it. It was rough over in y'all country. Y'all come here and y'all can make something of yourself because y'all can send your money back home. But don't judge what you don't know nothing about. I had a few people that were coming at me with that. Yeah, black people don't want to do this. We all got jobs and all that. I was like, okay, we get it. You came from another country. You came in with the purpose of working there. You didn't care what the fuck you did. It was better than what you were doing over there in Nigeria and all the other ones. I get that. I understand that. But you can't come over here and say, we're lazy, we don't want to do this and that. I be looking at them like, what the fuck is y'all really talking about? Y'all escaped oppression to come here. And then y'all gonna make the money and go back. Or stay. Whichever one. I don't really care. But the view of them, and I'll be looking at them, I was like, y'all hear yourself? I didn't even think that was it. I didn't know that shit existed until it happened. I was like, y'all really think that we all lazy over here?
Only thing I know is that I know they have different demographic. You sign your name on the application, African American,
that shit don't matter. Certain jobs is labor. They don't care.
Right. So you put your name on the application. Some people get the job faster than others because of that alone, ethnicity. Shit, you could get a score on the SAT just putting black on there. Or Hispanic or something on there. I mean, it's crazy.
Don't judge unless you know people. That's all I'm saying.
Just don't do it. It's just.
I mean, you come over here with a.
It's easy to come from another country and adapt, right? When you already here and everything that's here is basically forcing you to work harder than that person that's coming from over another country. So they got more privilege than we do walking in. So any foreigner, when they come in, they can open up businesses left and right. A nigga can't get no motherfucking loan to do shit.
Yeah, we got work.
That's why we walk around our own hoods with foreigners running all the stores and gas stations.
What I'm saying though,
Because we don't get no loans to do that.
So like, yeah, why you ain't make some stores up?
As soon as they walk here, and as soon as they get their cards, they're good to go. They get loans left and right. Open up laundromats. Everywhere you go, it's a restaurant or cleaners and shit like that. And it's always them. The corner store where we go all day, every day. They running this shit. Or foreigners. You know? So they get the loans off the break. And open that shit right around our way. Don't even live there. They just come here. They go the fuck home.
They live in houses in the suburbs.
They said we could do that too.
Systematically, you can't do that.
How we can't do it?
We don't get the capital. We don't get the loan. Like now, we can't even get PPP. Black people can't even get that. So if you got a loan now, everybody white get that shit. Big companies get that shit immediately. If you struggling small black ass companies, you ain't got no PPP, nothing. You ain't get that shit.
So what happened when we was making all that money? What we was doing with it?
Who?
When you selling all that yayo, why you ain't help people out? We getting loans and shit.
What?
I do have a epiphany.
All these kingpins is out here. Why you ain't spread the wealth around? Why you ain't buy our community?
I do have this thing right now, though. Back 100 years ago, Black Wall Street. Let's go to Black Wall Street. You got doctors, lawyers, black, everything. City, just a whole city, just fat out millionaires, black millionaires. And they made their money like that. And, you know, white people, they use slave labor to build money. Right. So their wealth was over slavery, like selling, trading slaves, this, that, and the third, pick cotton, you know, the whole works. Black people, they built their money up from themselves at scratch. But then they get jealous, they get mad, burn that shit down to the ground. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm saying is, when we make ourselves get our 40 acres of mule, guess what happens? They shoot us down. Shit, niggas.
So how would you come back that, Jay?
And it's hard to come back from that.
Know what I'm saying?
Somebody like Donald Trump, who have these loopholes in situations, and he's sneaking, getting money. Like right now, he's the president. So we haven't heard from his son in a while. What his son doing? Making business deals with our tax money. He can't get a loan for a business, you know.
We can get a loan then. It's gonna be higher than motherfucker. We gonna get it.
But the only problem is you got
You ain't getting no grants. That's the big deal. Grants you don't pay back.
Yeah, grants you'll pay that.
Loans you have to pay back. He ain't need the loan. He need the grant.
You want the grant, but you don't want the loan, of course. But like you got your,
You ain't get none of that.
you got this stupid motherfucker, baby boy from Pretty Ricky.
Exactly, yeah.
You heard about that?
That's crazy. Now, we talk about PPE, again, well, some of these black people, they got white people with them, so they kind of have privilege. like Joe Budden podcast. Like, he's saying black podcast, but he got so many white people, he can use the white privilege, you feel me? It's the same shit.
So now that podcast,
This nigga get the PPP, you know, him and all these, you know what I'm saying, lawyers and all these motherfuckers, concoct some shit where he funneled 24 million out, nigga.
Yeah. And
Fuck out of here.
then the feds caught up to his ass, and then he tried to withdraw some more PP loans. That's how he got caught up. Being greedy.
Yeah, called relief fund fraud.
So what about the Lakers? They took that relief fund money.
So guess what? Guess what? He just found himself in federal prison like that.
But it was a scheme, though. It wasn't like he was accident or nothing.
It was a scheme.
Yeah.
So the people that was doing that scheme in college was getting 14 days in prison.
Nigga, we talking about
Balance that out right there.
We talking about bank fraud, wire fraud.
Same thing, the college fraud.
They gonna fuck him up.
They ain't fucked that chick up for 14 days. She only spent 14 days in jail.
That man in Canada somewhere.
This nigga only 36. I ain't know he was only 36.
Oh, he gonna spend 36 in there.
He in Georgia too.
I'm about to post my bond. You can see me. Folks, how much you want, Judge? I got plenty of it. You want a man? I got that meal for you. You want to put this property up? Yeah, you got that house.
This nigga.
So he got a paycheck for $425,000. Then he got another one for his throwback jersey company. Whatever that is. He got 700 G's for that. He was ringing it up. Then he got another 100 G's for luxury goods with the fund.
Yeah, one of them jokes he bought
a Ferrari, nigga.
I need that.
So
nigga bought a Ferrari.
Like I was reading that shit earlier. I was like, no, this fucking nigga did it. No.
This nigga brought a Ferrari, though, dog.
Yeah, he tripping.
You gotta put this mug up here now. You put a Ferrari. You get the relief fund, you bitch ass nigga. I've been sitting here for 6 months and they ain't reply to me. And you see him getting 3-4 different loans for a Ferrari? Bitch ass nigga.
Fuck yeah, we did though.
What is that?
That's fucked up. But you best believe he gonna be in the jail. They getting his ass.
Nah.
Wait.
Lawyers get you out of that.
Dog, $24 million. He ain't do that shit by himself.
Yeah.
That was a lot of
You want
bread.
snitch? Give up names. Who helped them? Who manipulated
I
them?
think them niggas made up companies and some motions.
He didn't do it by himself. He didn't
Nah.
want to time by himself.
That wasn't done by yourself.
So the lawyer's gonna get that shit thrown out, or he gonna do a minimum time in minimum security prison.
And that's the dude that people didn't really fuck with when he was pretty great. He was like the least favorite.
He only 36 though, man.
Yeah.
Pretty great. Yeah. This nigga took 24 million cash at me, nigga. What the fuck is going on? $24 million.
He went to
For
court.
a Ferrari.
Nah, he had more than Ferrari.
Then he go get a Ferrari.
I teach you how to stunt.
Riding down the street. They're like, look at that nigga in the car. We about to pull his ass over. That nigga don't belong in no Ferrari. That nigga do not. You don't need no. He don't belong in no Tulsa. He don't belong in no Lambo. That's what they look at you as. They don't look at you know. You got, riding down the street and you got a Lambo. They're gonna pull your ass over.
Come on, nigga.
Because they want you to justify how the fuck you get that money. They know you're a criminal.
He should be ashamed of himself. Like, why would you do that? Like,
And they already label our asses that, criminals of money, when you buy a Ferrari and shit
Blue
like
collar
that.
crime right there, though. There ain't no real crime right there. That's blue collar.
for example, this nigga, piece of shit. Right?
Why you say that?
He ain't got to be bigger than nothing. He's just a fucking piece of shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Why you piece of shit?
Like, Trump can be
He
a
run the
piece.
system.
That's
though.
some slimy ass shit. Like, it's a PPE loan. Niggas always about to lose their business, right?
Off that 24 million, how much money was out of here?
Yeah, that's about 20,000 black businesses right there. That little bit of money could save all of it. You son of a bitch. Again, people like him can't flip his flip side and start talking about black issues to me.
Why not?
Cause no, nigga.
I did what I had to do to survive, dog.
24 million?
Yeah, it was like you out there saying yayo. You make 24 million yayo, what the fuck?
That nigga don't even have no companies that's worth that.
Hey, he found a way.
But you gonna take that knowing you stealing.
How's that still?
That right there is like
I need
10,000 small black companies
I needed
that
that.
went out of business already. It's not, they can't even come back because you fucked and took the money. Fuck out of here.
Hold up, man. Hold up.
Fuck
Breaking the
outta
law,
here.
breaking the law, man.
I'll get this nigga off my screen.
Nah, man. Go ahead.
Fuck that nigga.
Nah, man. Breaking the law, breaking the law.
24 million?
Don't hate
You
that
could
man.
have took the 400 G's, nigga.
Nah, man. Don't hate that man hustle.
But keep on going for
Yeah.
more until you reach 24 million?
He wasn't supposed to catch you, my man.
Where you think this money was coming from, though, dog?
He had a lot of businesses.
That's fucked up.
That's a good hustle right there.
Nigga, I filled out that shit 6 months ago, right?
You feel that right.
Nothing coming. Ain't no motherfucking way. Yeah?
You need his white lawyer, whoever he had. Whoever he had lawyer, you needed him because he would got you a good 400,000.
That nigga used his privilege.
That's because
So you would turn that 400,000
that's because you did yours properly.
If you did yours, they gave you 400,000. You would turn that down. You would say, "I'm stealing from people. I'm gonna turn that
Why
down."
they give me 400,000? That's
If
crazy.
they made a mistake, gave you 400,000 for your small business. They thought you had a chain shop.
Throwback T-shirt. Get the fuck out
There
of
you
here.
go.
Jeff.
So you,
He
yeah,
said throwback T-shirt.
Is he serious
they
though?
gave you 700,000 for your shops. They thought you had more than one shop. You
You
gonna turn that?
Stop.
Rabbit ain't gonna turn no money down, man. So stop that shit, man.
Never that.
Yeah, you ain't gonna turn it down. So then you Miami dude then.
Bird man.
You, I know. You don't know what they say. You gonna burn through that 400,000. What 400,000 y'all talking about? I don't know what
I'm
y'all
not gonna
talking
get no sign no loan PPP shit for $400,000. I'm not doing that dumb shit. Fuck out of here. Even a white man came and said, "Dog, I know how to do it. We can get it." Fuck you. Give me my shit. And get the fuck out of here.
Nah, you're criminal.
I don't need that shit. Fuck that. I ain't one of them niggas be taking all
They
that.
try to do this shit the right way.
Nah, he didn't do that shit the right way.
Fuck that.
You throw 400,000 in his face, I got that.
I don't like when niggas food, like free food, like people be having food in the corner for people that's homeless and shit.
Yeah.
I like people just don't get that. Nigga, you don't need that shit.
Hey, but that real plate was good though, dog.
I don't like that shit,
Hey,
bro.
that was some real collard greens right there,
Niggas
dog.
don't be needing that shit, though.
Hey, they had that fat back in it, dog. You know you gotta get that fat back.
I don't like that shit, dog.
Hey, man, let me get that plate, man. I'm hungry too.
Nigga go back home and start calling his hey, you don't even have anything to free this and that. No, nigga, y'all don't need this shit.
You want a whole cooked meal?
Now you gonna get your whole family down
Yeah,
there.
go over there.
Y'all gonna cook out. The whole time people homeless need that shit, dog. I hate that shit.
People homeless always gonna need that,
Come
dog.
on, man. Niggas do that shit.
All day, every day.
Oh. They go down there and quick call everybody. Go down there, hey, on such street. They got that shit.
They got some ribs. They got some macaroni.
Yeah, man. They give it out to free.
You know?
No, nigga, that ain't for you though.
Like a toy drive. Your mother's dragging every toy drive, get all free toys. No,
I hate that shit, man.
hit every toy trap.
I hate that. Right
They used to go to the jungle and get the Adrian Finn coats and shit.
man.
Asian Freddy coats, the thermal gear, the socks,
like
and
it.
underwear, and get all that shit up, man. Rabbit faking out here.
My girl
man.
came and drove some cookies the other day and shit. So I'm like, what you doing? Oh, they get away for kids out. No, we don't need them.
I need no fresh cookies.
That's for somebody need that shit, man.
No, we need that.
I bring that shit in here.
What's wrong with him, man?
Hey, to this day, she still be talking about that though. I'm like, seriously, don't bring that shit in here, yeah?
Nah, that was talking.
We don't need that shit.
Yeah, you need that shit.
Somebody need that, man. Don't be bringing that unnecessary shit and somebody need that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
That's true though.
I don't like that shit.
You tripping? No, you need
And
that
she looked at me like I'm crazy, like,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
we don't need that shit, dog. Go to the grocery store, get some cookies, motherfucker.
no, man, we ain't doing that.
Why you gonna get that shit for free people?
Free is free.
I hate that. When churches do that shit, yeah. Oh, big ass pull up in car. Yeah, I said it's free. Oh, good. No, nigga.
And then we get a pack of them socks, and we get them t-shirts too. Hey, y'all got them thermos too? I need a pair. I said that too.
Hey, keep your ass going to McDonald's like you was about to do, motherfucker.
No, it's up, church. I ain't gonna get a plate.
These motherfuckers really need that shit, man. For real, dog. I hate that shit.
Hard times out here, though. You know, I ain't had money to pay the rent.
They can take that shit quick. I ain't know you just took it from about 13 people that need that shit on Star tonight.
Like, hey, the church giving away some free
Man,
cereal.
right, but
No
you
bullshit,
you
man.
ain't about to give it to you, gonna try to sell it to you 2 minutes later.
Y'all go in that joint, playing in it and throwing it in the trash and trying to.
Nah, man.
Give
Like,
a
hey,
fuck.
champ, I got these same tops for you, champ. You wanna buy these, champ?
Hate
You
that
just
shit.
got this from the
Church
church, man.
thinking you getting Cheerios is Tastios.
You know? I hate that bullshit, man.
No,
But
it's
anybody out there, man, people be getting off shit free. If you don't need that shit, leave it alone. Fuck wrong with you?
You always need it, though.
Get out of here with that shit. And every week, man, we do something special. You know, go back and look at old rap. You know, you know what we do, Jay. Go back in the day.
Rap.
Let's do some interviews, freestyles. You know what I'm saying? Like doing last week, dog. I was like, come on, Jay came in late.
Yeah, Jay,
You got to explain to the T3P gang why the hell you was late last week. You know what I'm saying? That,
What's that?
I'm looking like, where he at? Then these came up, then we gone. Like, nah, nigga. They want to hear Jay. What Baffles J today. You know what I'm saying? Now? He coming to join late. Yeah. We had good conversation though. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't one episodes. Monday we talking about shit. We talking 3.5 hours. Come think of it. 3.5 hour podcast.
Shit, I was in there for like 2.5.
No, this is like the last hour.
We're talking about all range of shit, but it's more about friends and workplaces and shit, management, how they treat people overall. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good conversation. And you check that shit out too, though. You know what I'm saying? You know? It's third perspective.
You know, sprinkle some sports in there. You know,
there's a lot going on.
A little wrestling. We was all the way. We had everything you needed.
So shout out to DJ Bill. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrestling podcast. Got me started on this shit. You know? But every week, we go back to the little day. Rap was rap. You know what I'm saying? You know? This week we're gonna do wait a minute. What was that we did last week, right?
Nelly.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember. That nigga was fire. You missed it.
He missed it.
He missed it.
Nelly went back in there 4 times. You remember? I was like, oh no.
That nigga was fire. Anybody that motherfucker
and Murphy Lee.
They check out over here. Murphy Lee. And yeah.
Some
Nelly.
Random ass nigga, some comment.
They was on fire in that joint, Slim. Well, Nelly was on fire.
How much did he have a little ball?
Oh, he got his man. He got his man. Take that back in.
Jay said he came back for a 3rd time.
Yeah, he went back 3 times, dog.
Then they stopped him. He was gonna go back a 4th time.
My man went back 4.
For some reason, when it comes to that, when it's back against the ropes, he'll come out.
Nelly get fucked. Now I think Nelly could have kept going.
Because you know what's his name was beefing with.
Oh, that was Consequence.
Yeah,
Consequence, my man. He said one verse and stood back.
Yeah,
that nigga ain't had nothing else to say.
They even need Ticket that day. Ticket was quiet. He ain't say nothing.
Fire.
Now he said, I got you.
Man, I miss those good old days when it was rap.
Like, you know, something about his mind about
Those days was rap. But yeah, that was what it was. Jay missed that good time.
Yeah, that joint was nice though, Slim.
That was one of the better ones right there. Jay, he bounced back. He had some trash ones on his last few weeks.
shit.
That joint was nice.
He made me get my first ever 4 mics.
I had to get my drink on. Nice.
That's why your man had the first 4 mic he ever did and shit.
Yeah, my first 4 mics, dog. I had to get 4 mics out.
My first 4 white mics was Reek the Village.
This week we're gonna do Disturbing Peace. Disturbing Peace, y'all know who in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we fuck with Disturbing the Peace, you know.
You know?
Yeah, we had a competition on who was better rapper, Ludacris or Nelly.
Yeah, that was that versus shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Versus John was like, you know, they need to. Okay, Gladys Knight and Patty Bell was last one.
It's over.
That was last week.
Yeah, and I'm on.
Like,
it's gas running out. Once you get the old people, I knew something was wrong here. This isn't right.
yes.
But Dre ain't trying to do that shit.
Yeah, Dre ain't doing it. Jay-Z ain't doing it. You know, so you had Jay-Z versus Lil Wayne. There you go right there.
yeah, that would really.
That would have been nice right there. There you go.
They had a lot of hits. Especially Lil Wayne. I think Lil Wayne got a lot more than Jay-Z.
Just that. There you go.
So here we go. Disturbing Peace. Rap with rap in the basement.
It's the big tick, JC on the ones and twos. DTP, Disturbing the Peace. Shout out my man, DJ Effect. It's going down. You ready?
We ready.
All right, let's go. Am I going first? All right. Oh, I gotta go first?
You ain't gotta go first.
I gotta go first?
You ain't gotta go first. Okay, check this out.
Check it. Now Luda's never caught without my magic wand. That's like seeing a black girl that's a natural blonde. Never happened. In the booth, stay rapping. More guns like tourists, I keep packing. More casualties and even fatalities. If I die, bury me. I hope heaven's like Jazzy T's. Rap City. Yes, we did it again. It's Ludacris and I brought a couple of friends. Now I done been up in the booth about 50 times, so I'ma let my folks just get on the rhyme. I said I've been up in the booth about 50 times, so I'ma get off the mic and let my crew get shine.
You know it's 2 watches, 2 rings, 2 charms, 2 chains, Lil Fate, the name, gotta respect his game. And everything I'm about expensive taste, so I place platinum and diamond in my mouth. Whoa, yeah, little buddy, so real. Copy whips in the crib before I had a deal, and I'm still got me till I DIE in the basement on BET. It's Big Tigger, Rap City, and the DTP. F Pepsi and Bill O'Reilly, the A-Town behind me. Dude, you best play it cool if you don't want to be swimming in your own blood pool. I'm Burberry from my hat to my shoes. This ain't a fluke, Lil Fate done paid his dues, so ain't no way I can lose, pal. With golden grain in your stores right now, just cut the check loud.
Yeah. It's hit of the city, it's college ball, we hard. Even in Eastwick, Zone 3, 4th Ward. I'm off that marijuana, upstairs with Tigger Mama. And I guess it's just like that shorty. She don't know no better. She'll do anything for me, Ocean sweater. I have her on the drawer and drinking out the bottle. That's the best of both worlds without the J and the R. You laid out if you're trying to fight me. Other lanes playing out like them Gucci Nikes. I try to tell her, girl, forget about the past. I got a person for you. You can have a future like me. Now, enough about the joking. I'm the livest hip-hop news since Snoop Dogg started smoking. And I jumped to the game from the bricks. But this year called me Pope 96.
Yeah. What would you do if I had your trick locked in the trunk? Your old man over the steering wheel laying that slump. My sister son, I got a 12-gauge spraying that pump. Smoking reefer with a street sweeper waiting to dump. Dealer, let the heat burst, now bust cats blow. Break out the ski mask, black gloves, black coat. Snatch your baby out the car seat or on glass floor. Blood stains leave your brain all over the dashboard. Choke you with the seatbelt, show you how the streets felt. In my hood, we swallow work, dip, eat shells. Try get smoke,
What else? Watch this, I split bricks on Rap Shitty. Avalanche trucks with cups and crack fillies. Hopping out, running your mouth, get smack shilly. Ludacris, DTP, and Mac Millie's album, Golden Grain, don't act funny. Def Jam South, we bout that stack money. Chi-Town, 71st, the Wild Honeys. Hood Rats, Project Blocks, and Wild Gunners. Bet that, put it on wood, I'm too gutter. Cop that, put it on 22, sucker. Whoa, you see, it's not a game. Been trying to get it for a minute, so before you woes is finished, I am not a lame. I'm focused on this change, and all you knuckers trying to holler so you can hit it. Let Shauna get a little brain. You rock a little chain.
She fucked y'all up, though. She fucked them up.
Send the mask. Okay, let me see what I can do with this. Yo. Let me tell you something. Listen. I used to hustle in the valley, now I hustle from the hill. Go check my old closet, you might find still. To get me on the track, it might cost you $250,000. I'm a few bucks short of being worth a quarter bill.
I didn't even know that was 2 Chainz.
Yeah, he found GTP. Oh, shit. You ain't getting famous till you got on stuff, man.
Yeah, Cole, yeah, the mud, Cole. That's a thick ass, thin ass Cole, bro.
He ain't get famous till you got
Yeah, he ain't get
famous.
famous.
Try to put him on, but the Wayne put him on when he put him on Duffy Bag.
He was still Titty Boy. He was with DTP after that. He played a circle.
Oh,
man. I can't tell by the way he rap. I know
I said it, didn't you?
I was like, come on, man.
Jay, who? I don't even know what order they went.
You man had
Luda went first.
Luda went.
Then some garbage dude.
Main Man went with the plaque.
Another garbage dude.
Then 2 Chainz went. Then Shorty went.
2 Chainz did not rap like that either.
Somebody went after 2 Chainz. Hold up.
Titty Boy.
Oh,
and one was like, bro, I cut you with the seatbelt and I shot you in the head with a mallet. I was like, okay.
Terrible.
All right, dog. We get it. You rough and tough.
That was bad. Jay?
You gotta go first, man.
I forgot his name.
First?
No,
the second one that had the champagne colored suit. He had the cashmere.
Oh yeah.
I forgot his goddamn name.
All right, first Luda went first.
Yeah, start with
Luda get 3.5.
No way.
He had 3 mics.
No way.
3 mics.
He didn't even say that. All he said was hyping his next people up.
Then Main Man went after him. I think that's what
I was trying to listen. It couldn't hear too much from my headphones.
I don't make excuses, Jay.
But I can hear it, but I can't hear it. Trying to like squeeze my headphones in my ear, trying to listen.
Yeah,
I don't know if they said Main Man's name though.
Nah, they said his name.
Anybody listen to that was disturbing the peace?
Yeah,
In the basement?
That was man number 2. Call him Goon number 2.
I forgot his name though.
Let's see if he said his name.
The name gotta respect his game and everything about expensive taste, so I place platinum and diamond in my mouth. Whoa, yeah, little buddy so
Little buddy. Little buddy so rich. Buddy love.
I had 2 Chainz. That was named into it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never would have thought of that, dog.
When he was a DTP?
When my mom was thinking, I thought it was somebody who reminded me of playing basketball the whole time.
No.
That didn't remind me of somebody. I think say 2 Chainz.
Yeah, I was in the way.
This name was I-20.
And then it started looking like real.
He was I-20.
I-20?
Yeah.
I-20? You know he was a loser. One night. No, he ain't gonna win.
But the shit that get me, he pretty much adopted the name E40. It's almost like I-20, E40.
Yeah. He be garbage.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Give him a 1. I never really liked him anyway. I never really fucked with him. The only person I really fucked with was either Ludacris or Sean. Oh, and Bob Valentino.
Oh yeah, the nigga like he cheese.
I think. Oh yeah.
Like he cheesed out.
I think 2 Chainz went next.
Yeah, after that.
Titty. Titty! Titty gonna get 2.
2 Chainz.
Because he got adopted the name 2 Chainz, so he get 2 mics.
2 mics?
Yeah. He get 2 titties or 2 mics.
All right, then that rough and tumble dude.
I think, yeah, stand-up comedian dude. He don't look like a while.
Um,
like a waiter or something.
He get 1. I don't know who the fuck that is.
I think the broad went after her.
Yeah, wow.
She actually get 3 with Luda.
What's her name?
Sean.
Yeah.
All right, right. You're amazing. Yeah.
So Dave was better.
Who?
Never.
Oh yeah, that was your last
Yeah,
year.
it was 10 times better.
The radical one?
Oh, I gotta go there? Okay, yeah. So let's start with my man Luda. I know my man Luda said 4 times straight that he done been on the booth for many times, but this time wasn't one of his good times. I'm gonna have to drop you the 2 nights. You know what I'm saying? I know your past, you was torturing shit, but you ain't do nothing right there but say, I'm gonna let my folks get on, I'm gonna let my folks get on. I done did it 4 times, I'm gonna let my folks get on, so.
Hey, dude.
That was 2. I was being generous. Put it out, Mike. That's what's gonna count your crowd out there. And they ain't even take it this time. We had a lot of people, so ticket ain't have to get in there. Next up, my man I-20. Half a mic, dog. I mean, I was gonna give you 1, but I ain't hear not 1 metaphor. You ain't dropped no real spit, so half a 1. Damn. Take a tip, my nigga.
Half a mic?
Yeah. And then my man 2 Chainz. My man 2 Chainz. You didn't say nothing. You just bibbity bobbity boo. So you get a mic and a half. And that half is being generous. Then my man after 2 Chainz, the fake gorilla, who ain't no killer. I'm gonna give you a 1 mic, dog. You tried to throw some hardcore shit at me, but I just couldn't believe it coming out your mouth. And for Shauna. Shauna earned her 3 mics. She earned her 3. She saved them. Without her, they was all looking like pussies. But yeah, Shauna get 3. Shade clothes and go.
Oh shit!
All right, the rabbit one.
I don't understand how you ain't fucking with my man, though.
Who?
I ain't know that was 2 Chainz.
You ain't know the 2 Chainz though?
You got me with that one, bro.
Trying to figure out the girl.
What was her song?
Yeah.
Lick from the head to the toes. I want to move from bed down to the floor.
Oh, that's her?
No.
That's Shorty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh. Mello?
Yes, you up though. Last and least.
Man, I know 2 Chainz was motherfucking 44 years old.
Yeah,
now, if he can rap, I can rap, man.
Yeah, I'm about to tell you that, dog.
The fuck is going on?
You got put on by the time, yeah, you was been at your peak. Yeah, you quit there.
You're right. That nigga name was Titty Boy. Titty Boy.
Who the fuck they say Titty Boy?
Titty Boy. That was a rap name. Titty Boy.
I think Ludacris named him Titty Boy.
Why? Because he get titties? He got titties. No homo.
All I know is at that time, that 2000, 2001, they used to wear T-shirts 5 times the size of themselves. So who knows?
Titty Boy, that ain't a good look.
Titty Boy. Signed to Disturb the Peace. Let's see who that was. Earl. Oh, Dollar Boy. One of them was Dollar Boy.
Dollar Boy. Who the fuck?
One of them trash motherfuckers was Dollar Boy. And she said, she sang. Alright, motherfucker, Luke, yeah, he get 2. He ain't do so much. You know? At all. They might need a chick on this one. Who's
I-20.
She's also the daughter of the blues musician Buddy Guy.
Who?
Yeah. Buddy Guy is her father.
What's her father?
Blues musician.
Bleeding Guns Murphy.
I'm gonna get main man one mic.
One mic.
Yeah, it's terrible.
All I need is one mic.
I don't even think that nigga rap for real.
I know. He thinks one nigga probably
Popeyes or something. And who's the other one? He was terrible. It was like he just steal cars and shit. That's how that nigga look. Let me see. He get one mic. I almost don't want to give him the one mic because he was just fucking up.
What about your man, Big Titty Boy?
One mic is cool. I can't believe that was Titty Boy, 2 Chainz, and that was some slop. You gotta give him one mic, man. He died there with them. That shit was terrible. I would never guess that was 2 Chainz.
You didn't know how to flow back then, dog.
I would never guess that. 2 Chainz did one mic for me. Then them stupid looking ass plastic hands did. That one threw me off. Then you don't know it was him and shit.
So the other thing is about him, as soon as he became 2 Chainz, his mixtape was good. Then his album was good. The second album after that was some shit, but the mixtape was good. But then after that, he went rock bottom after that.
I didn't know that nigga was this old.
Yeah, yo.
Then he came out with this song with Lil Wayne, Shut the Chick That Money.
Yeah, once he started getting on singles here, they got him hot.
Yeah. He made his money.
When he went to Kanye's joint, that's when he started blasting
Don't
on.
bring up birthday party.
Yeah.
Birthday party?
Yeah, birthday. It's
Good
your
music.
birthday.
That's when they brought good music.
All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe.
You know?
Because we was with that. Then it was him, Kid Cudi.
Titty Boy?
Yeah, it was him, Kid Cudi.
I'm gonna call him Titty Boy.
His name TV, dog. Stop that shit. TV.
He graduated out of that.
His name TV, dog. Don't let him be
Titty Boy. Yeah. It's like, what is that supposed to mean?
I'm
man?
trying to figure that out myself.
It just sound like dumb shit, yeah.
Well, you know, they was doing some shit at the time anyway. Now,
Titty Boy? Like, no, that's not even a rap name.
That's not a rap name. Yeah, TV.
Titty Boy?
TV, are you with me? Oh, yeah.
Nigga wild shit. But that was some trash right there in the basement, man.
it definitely was trash.
God Almighty.
That shit was dumpster juice.
That was disturbing the peace.
Yeah,
Shit, they
ain't
ain't
last
last
long.
on peace.
Yeah, I'm about to say, they ain't last long like
That's why your man rapped a little bit too, because he knew it was gonna be a disaster. He knew it. But I be on it too much. Y'all go ahead. You might have kept on rapping. You know? Them was some gutter trash. None of them. Oh no, I saw you.
Reminisce those good old days when rap was rap.
He had to cut that shit off because those were the days. Rap.
Oh my God.
That was Titty Boy.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about her for a minute, but yeah, that joint went in. The rap was rap, you know what I'm saying?
Featuring Titty Boy.
Titty Boy. And this nigga Baby Blue. Cash at me, nigga. What's wrong with you? I'm taking 24 million. PPP shit. Cash at me.
Rapping in this film.
Fuck wrong with you?
That 24 million ain't for you.
Cash at a nipple.
I'll make it rain. I'll make it rain.
Before you get locked up, cash at it. You know what I'm saying?
Because you know he is.
He ain't getting locked up.
Before you go in.
And he ain't too smart to pull no kick off like that. He had help. And
He was on Love and Hip Hop.
Definitely need some crackers for that.
So he was on Love and Hip Hop, right?
You ain't do that by yourself.
He did it by himself.
Nah.
Give me some brothers with.
You need to pull a Joe Budden on him. And use your privilege.
Yeah, he could have been using some brothers.
Use the white boy privilege on that.
No, he used some smart brothers.
No, I wasn't no niggas that got him out of that.
Yeah, niggas got him into that. And
All you gotta do is have that camera.
you know, all you gotta just say, hey, look, one of gotta get this right.
Niggas ain't get him out of that. For sure. 24 mil?
Hey, one of us gotta take this fall. Man.
That's bread, Slim.
You want your money when you get out. One of us gotta
Like,
take this
nigga, his first joint was 400 something G's, right?
Good, huh?
Me, bird in the hand, I'm out. Other niggas want to do action, then you go to jail. See what I'm saying?
What?
Y'all must have forgot about that movie, Set It Off. They got greedy. And guess what happened? They got
You don't do that?
Bird in the hand for me.
Nah, you addicted to it, though.
It's the bird in the hand for me, my nigga. I'm out with the bird in the hand. I ain't sitting there arguing about nothing else after that.
400K, dog. That's not enough.
Bird in the hand. That bird in the hand is
Nah,
out.
you need a meal. Just see how
Nigga, I'm not discussing that.
you need a whole
out.
meal right there.
I'm out.
Now, after you see that one meal, you're gonna want 24 other ones like that.
Like I was Joe Budden and shit. Like right now, them niggas ain't got a dime. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Fuck that. I expect y'all to be mad as shit at me if I go in there and come out with nothing. And start talking about I'm standing my ground and shit. Y'all look at me like, stand your ground. What were the millions that you left in that bitch, yo? Fuck that. Now I want 5 more million.
But that's
no, nigga, bring that million. Nigga.
The funny part about it, nigga was on Love and Hip Hop.
My thing is, he's famous, right? Joe Budden already famous, right? From Love and Hip Hop, all types of shit. You know what I'm saying?
You don't Love and Hip Hop Miami.
The other niggas, nothing, right? So if you get that bread, these niggas are nobodies. You know what I'm saying? You might come across that shit sometime down the line because you Joe Budden. You know what I'm saying? But these niggas here, you supposed to put that shit in your pocket and roll the fuck out and gave these niggas their shit, nigga. Everything else is just bullshit. I'm standing up for mine. Y'all been walking around standing up for your minds for 2 months now with nothing. Fuck out of here. I took all that bread. Like I said, nigga, bird in the hand. I'm out. I'm not arguing about the extra shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I take this nigga, because I ain't had this when I walked in. Fuck you heard. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna debate about another 2 million.
Yeah.
That's my head. I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Always selling for less though.
Yeah.
More than-
You think it's less.
It is less.
But before I walked in there, we ain't had no millions.
No, we had millions.
You think I'm gonna get an offer for 30, 40 million and just walk out saying, nah, I think we worth, let me look at my numbers.
Yeah,
We're worth
three-
60 million.
Three
You know
divided,
what I'm
what's
saying?
30 million divided by 3, Jay?
No, because I'm coming out there with that 40 million, Slim.
30 million divided by 3, Jay?
I'm not doing it. We all would be fucking rich, put it like that.
No. We gotta have at least 15 million.
That's 10 million a piece.
No, we need 15 million a piece though.
See what I mean?
That's between.
Now you see what I mean?
Nah, I need an extra 5 million.
That's what happened to Zach Prescott ass. Look at him now. See what I'm saying?
I need that extra
Right
5 million.
now, he could have signed that contract, 35 million.
He would never worried about.
This season, you could give a fuck about losing. Now, fucked. Now, somebody gonna give you that money. Gonna be somewhere where you gonna lose for the rest of your career.
Why you think I'm gonna let Kirk Cousins get that 84 million guaranteed, another 140 million guaranteed? You think I don't want my quarter of a billion too?
The way this season going, you
I want my quarter of a billion.
What they offering?
Who? Kirk?
Nah,
That Prescott.
They offered him shit.
Yeah, bare minimum.
Like
They gotta take a
35 million.
hometown discount.
36 million.
36.
Yeah, you gotta take a hometown discount.
I guarantee you, NFC, he can't get that from nobody.
Yeah, you gonna get.
No, he can't get it.
Can't get that from nobody.
20 million, 40 million.
He gonna settle for 25.
He can't
30.
even get that.
So you telling me Kirk Cousins can get that, but he can't?
He fucked up.
Let me tell you the reason.
Kirk Cousins took that money when they gave it though.
No,
He ain't hold out and say nope. None of
that's
that.
not a franchise tag too this year.
Man, white people not take the bird.
He
in here.
making 30-some million this year.
Who?
Dak Prescott. He took the franchise tag. He signed.
Nah, that's not a contract.
I know, but he didn't pay this year like Kirk Cousins did.
Nigga,
Kirk
they
Cousins
get
did
rid of him.
everything. Kirk Cousins kept signing.
They ain't gotta give him that
franchise tag.
No, the salary cap gone down this year.
They can cut him down.
They
Because
cut him. He's
of
still getting his
pandemic.
money.
He's not even on contract.
He got
Pandemic
25
fucked it up.
million this year. That's good, right?
They can cut him right now.
But he got 25 million though
Nigga, that nigga.
for
dumb.
1 year. He's won a long-term
Me?
contract.
Bird in the hand. I would sign that contract. Right now, I've been looking at my house,
He playing on a franchise tag though.
driving my nice cars, not
And
giving a fuck
and
about
he ain't-
us losing this year.
And he ain't gonna be able to get the contract he won next year. because
He's stressed the fuck out, man.
The salary cap going down.
They gonna find a way.
Bird in the
They
hand.
gonna find a way.
The salary cap gonna go down next year.
Trust me.
And the reason why it's going down because fuck pandemic.
He don't care about that. He gonna get his money.
Trust in
But
me.
he not worth.
Dallas ain't gonna give it to him.
He
Nah,
not worth.
That's
that.
all.
Why you sure?
That same contract done.
You sure?
Okay.
I
Then
know
put,
you'll
what's his
get it.
name? What's the dude behind him? Oh, fuck
Andy
yeah.
Dalton.
Coming in real soon.
Coming in real soon.
Watch.
Okay.
And your man gonna get cut.
You gonna get cut? Yeah,
Watch
he
what I
made-
tell you,
He
dog.
made 30 million this year. He good.
Okay, now you don't have no team.
Or they might get a rookie, or they might
No, they
look
got
around. Might look around the league.
They got what's his name?
Dalton and they go.
Andy Dalton.
Nah, he ain't their quarterback though. They gonna get Aaron Rodgers when he come free from Green Bay.
Yeah, because this is his last year.
What did I tell you when the season started? That Dalton was gonna be playing like 4th week, right? Who week we on?
5th week.
This week coming up?
Yeah.
If he make it out this week right here, Dalton will be playing next week.
But see, it's not that
Shout out to the
pressing.
Redskins for benching their man Dwayne Haskins.
Especially if they lose.
I'm a bad at him Washington. Don't delete my podcast.
Haskins.
They benched my man.
Yeah, they
for,
bench Haskins.
for dude I don't know, Kyle Allen.
He ain't get benched. He
Yeah,
fired.
He fired.
That nigga fired.
He fired because he was fighting on Twitter.
Nigga, you don't go from first string to third string.
He was fighting on Twitter.
Fuck out of
Yeah,
here. They
somebody
fired
went
him.
at him. He was on Twitter and Facebook. Don't go on. They told me he needed to delete his account. You can't be sensitive quarterback. Not in the Washington area.
Man, he's some shit.
I think he didn't get time enough to learn how to play this sport. You know what I'm saying? He ain't a real quarterback.
That's like what they doing at Tua.
Yeah, you gotta give him a whole year. We're not playing nothing like that. Just sitting there studying how to throw a pass.
But I ain't seen him play. He was that bad.
Yeah, he was bad.
Who?
Haskins, he was hoping.
Yeah, he was giving away presents like shit, like
Gibbs, he don't know how to read a pass play. He don't know how to throw the ball with
can't
touch.
read defenses.
Can't read defense. He got by.
You can't pre-snap read. You can't do none of that shit.
Yeah, they started Carol Allen, so that's like Brad said. That might be in there. That man.
He on third string.
He done. But they gonna try to draft the other boy from Clemson.
You not following it if you drop.
Oh, you talking about Charlie Horn?
Yeah, Redskins gonna be sorry. Redskins, my bad. Team of Washington, man, they gotta get a name. Shit ain't gonna work, man. The team of Washington ain't gonna work. I can't keep calling that team.
No, this Washington football team, but
team of Washington, the Washington football team, all look the same.
Washington
football
team.
Call y'all burgundy and gold. They gotta go burgundy and gold.
Right now, the Washington team is trash. The
Don't-
whole NFC is fucking
I'm
trash.
about to say, don't throw stones, Cowboys. Y'all.
The whole NFC, and then we play New York Giants.
What's up? G-Unit.
I play John.
Jones, Daniel Jones has been
He's solid too. Yeah, he's horrible.
And they got Colt McCoy as their quarterback.
Horrible. Giants.
Giants, they got Colt
Nah,
McCoy.
man, that quarterback. No, I'm thinking about Buffalo quarterback.
Buffalo. maybe
Buffalo is a beast.
Buffalo ain't no beast.
Ain't no
Stop
beast.
that shit, man.
Quarterback nice though.
They ain't gonna beat the Patriots.
They got defense.
Yeah, defense, but the Patriots gonna beat them.
That's gonna be a good game.
They definitely got defense.
Not sure I don't know.
They ain't beat the Jets. Who else they beat? The Dolphins.
They beat the Jets.
Yeah, I said that's all they played. Jets, the Dolphins. You don't count those. Those gimmies. That's what you call it, gimme. They're like the Chicago Bears in the Central Division. It's a gimme.
My man,
Shit, Chicago Bears. That's gonna be a game. Chicago Bears
versus the Lions, right?
Nah.
yeah.
I thought y'all played the Bucks.
No, we play Tampa Bay tomorrow.
I gotta play Tampa Bay. Y'all like,
Nigga, we about to smash old man Grady, nigga.
Y'all don't get
Y'all remember Brady on Samsung? That's Tom Brady out this motherfucker.
I normally call Tom Grady or Brady. Tom Shady.
And Belichick.
And Belichick.
Belichick.
Yeah.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Belichick and Tom Shady.
Hey, you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Hey, now the nigga threw 5 touchdowns. Now y'all explain that to me. Then.
Who?
Huh?
Who was 5 touchdowns?
Tom Shady.
Against who? San Diego?
Yeah, San Diego.
LA? No, it ain't San Diego no more. LA. Damn, man, these teams change their names, man.
Las Vegas. Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, Las Vegas Raiders, LA Chargers, LA Rams. The fuck is that?
The Rams should have stayed in St. Louis. I like them better. I used to like them better when they was the greatest show on turf because they was blast smashing people left and right.
Said the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, they was smashing motherfuckers left and right. Like them good 3-4 years.
That's back when Rap was young.
In 4 or 5 years, they was smashing motherfuckers.
All right, let's look at Brady's stats, right? So the first game, he went 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That was against New Orleans.
Yeah.
Of course.
Carolina, he went 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Let's see, Carolina's trash.
Not really. Teddy Bridgewater.
Nah,
Yeah.
New Orleans playing nice out there.
Yeah.
Then he went to Denver.
That's trash.
He went 3 touchdowns and no interception. Then last week, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Against who?
LA?
Chargers. Chargers at the beginning, though. Chargers had him. Man, 10 toes down with it. It's ran out of steam. The rookie. Yeah.
Rookie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now look. His first game was 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Then 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So that's 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the first 2 games. Right? So look my man. Mitch.
Oh, Lord, please.
Now his first 2 games. Yeah, first 2 games. First game against Detroit, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. New York, Giants, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So the first 2 games, it was 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Okay. Third game.
Compared to the first 2 games with Brady, a big difference.
Yeah, but that third
3-3.
game when they benched him, right?
Yeah, they been. Oh, the latter game, it was 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
6-3.
Now they benched him though, so it don't matter. They benched him after the second one. That's crazy. My man got benched. Tom Brady get to work his kinks out. You know what I'm saying?
Tom Brady improving.
We got to fix our defense. But look at this stat.
This who defense?
The
Cowboys.
This the Cowboys.
Oh y'all need more fixing the defense.
Defense is the offense side. They just need to beat the line.
What about Prescott? He's not gonna be there.
He is.
He's gonna be where?
He gonna be a Cowboy.
That nigga ain't gonna take no $20 million from
But
they get a nigga 15.
But listen to the stats. 266 first game. 1 touchdown. Against Atlanta, 450 yards.
Garbage time yards.
1 touchdown. And the debacle of the one side kid.
Mm-hmm.
But that's Atlanta did that shit the week after and the week after. So that's what they do. The week after that, he throws for 472 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Cleveland, 502 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. But all these games we lost except for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
And that's because of the defense.
No.
They couldn't hold.
He getting those yards in garbage time stuff. Defense playing the Kyle Puff.
But no, we keep it's kind of garbage time, but
It's
it's
garbage
like
time.
we trying to come back.
Yeah, so it don't matter. He don't do it when it need to be done. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? You step out of it and doing that, then it's different. When it was 14-14, he dropped the ball. He didn't do it. When it was 28-14, he still didn't. He had a chance to get y'all back in. He ain't start scoring until the Cleveland started playing at the event. And just letting him catch everything underneath him, not letting him get the long play.
They sitting quarterbacks down left and right all over. Left and right. You know, if it was a crowd out there, they wouldn't be doing all this shit. It's just them in the stadium by themselves. They make these wild ass decisions and shit. But if there's a crowd out there, they be yanking these quarterbacks out like this and shit. Put that nigga all the way on the third screen? Shit. Haskins?
Yeah, he's that much some trash.
He's not trash, he's just underdeveloped. And I don't think Washington can develop.
Nigga, if you go from first to third,
I don't think they got the patience.
You don't work there no more. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they got the patience to develop.
There's a new regime.
They don't have,
pick them.
they don't have nobody there to do. Rivera, that's a defensive minded coach, man. He's not thinking about no quarterback shit. He need a veteran coach, quarterback. He ain't got time for that.
That's true. And no, I'm talking about that. It's a new regime, new year.
Yeah, when a person didn't get picked by a regime, they don't want him.
I don't like.
That's like Mitch Trubisky.
We talked about that before.
They
Like
benched his ass because the new regime came in. They don't want him.
Exactly.
They don't want him, so they want him gone.
Exactly. But we talked about that shit before. How people fuck people's careers up like that.
Yeah.
Like you changing management and shit. And they want to bring in their friends now. Now I lose my job. Now I'm out the season for the next 2-3 years. Maybe out for good.
That's why that's part of why Doc Rivers is gone.
That's bullshit.
Because you remember when Doc Rivers was dead, remember Donald Sterling was dead, and he said some bullshit on the phone about,
That's what I was telling y'all, man.
And then they kicked him out. They had the new regime come in.
The Clippers joint in general is a racist joint. Him running around talking about Black Lives Matter and crying and shit in press conferences. They ain't like that shit. That nigga was fired from the giddy up. That nigga wasn't holding the trophy up. He was done.
Because that's like Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens been in Boston like forever.
It's a Corona trip anyway. Should nobody even worried about this chip. It's a Corona chip.
It's an asterisk on this.
Yeah, I guess Lakers might get this Corona chip.
A couple of these, now you don't need the Lakers. I'm talking about like, I don't know about Super Bowls and
Yeah, they all Corona chips.
The baseball, the
Corona
hockey.
chip.
Corona chips.
That's what they are, yeah. And they see so fucked up. You can't run around bragging about that for sure. Like nigga, fuck out of here. Shit fucked up, man. I just can't wait till this shit just come to an end with it. Cause we can't just go on with this mad shit. It's silliness, man. You know what I'm saying? So
This mad shit is fucking, it's for the birds.
we got to do something, man. I don't know what they're supposed to be doing. They hurry up. And the vaccine shit, I don't know what that bullshit is. Because you got your man, the Orange Demon, and took about 19 different pills and shit. He don't even know what the fuck he took. You know what I'm saying?
He took experimental drugs.
Right, yeah. Don't nobody know what's going to happen. He don't know if his feet gonna fall off tomorrow. He don't even know what's going to happen. He basically a test dummy. Our president of the United States has been a test dummy.
And not only that, it's continue not wearing a mask. It's continue saying fuck this coronavirus. Still been downplayed. But as your president, do you want to continue to listen to that? Now you catch it, you die, what happened?
No,
you know.
niggas say he brought back college football. Yeah, I mean, this is the craziest, man.
He also said he grabbed the woman by the pussy.
Going college football, they started it up yet?
No,
Yeah,
I
they
think
been starting it.
No, certain other teams.
Not all the divisions, some of them.
I think after the last week of August, October, they're doing 8-game season. I don't know why they just scrap the whole year.
They said somebody got corona. Or the Titans.
Yeah. They thought it was over.
And Cam Newton got it.
Came back in.
Who came back in? Cam Newton?
No,
the
Titans. They came back in and 2 people still had it.
Oh.
And they asymptomatic.
Not good.
At all.
Asymptomatic, that's Trump is.
Yeah, they got mandatory testing now. We can't go to work without getting tested now.
Who?
Everybody got to get tested now.
Before you go to work?
Yeah. They started doing that now. You get it, then you get home, you stay home, get paid. But if not, then you got to go to work. I was like, you know how many people got that shit and don't know they got it?
But you know, you can get tested and it don't come up and you still got it.
No, they say
you can have it and it don't come up on the test.
Yeah, that's how you asymptomatic or you
somebody got the That's why I told y'all a couple months. I think there's not nobody in America that ain't had that shit. Literally.
They're like, gonna test you.
Oh, this last year, everybody can go back to the time when they had a cold or something. Like
wheezing a little.
Everybody had this shit by then, man.
Yeah, I know. I told you that.
There's no way by now. It's just everybody had it. You got kids walking around. Everybody don't cover their kids up that much because they're kids. You got dogs and shit running around. Like, come on.
Yeah, animals keep.
Nobody covering up one dog. So this shit out here, man. You got the shit, dog.
You got that shit.
Like I was telling y'all before, that little miss shit, man. You can't block that shit.
You can't
Dog.
block
That shit out here.
That mask blocking though. That surgical mask.
Let's put a plastic bag on your fucking head. That shit is out here, dog.
Yeah,
It's gonna
with
float
the mask
around.
on and the face mask.
It's just nothing you can do. It's nothing. So everybody had this shit. I know they had it, yeah.
You
No
got
way.
that shit, Jay? You got that shit, Jay?
Nah.
You had to have it one time, man. Everybody had to have it. It's just everybody don't get sick off the shit.
Right around too many people had it, and I ain't know they had it. So
There's no way that this many people can walk around America with it. Like the cases that they recognize. That many people is too many people. Everybody have to have it. No way that many people can walk around and don't pass it around. Just, come on, man. Just the people that got diagnosed. Let alone who they came in contact with. Just over the top. Man. Over the top.
You gotta get sweared up your nose. Cotton swab up your nose, dog.
I took the test though.
You took the test.
Over the summer.
That's what I'm saying. You can take the test. 2 weeks later, you'll have it.
Yeah.
You don't even know.
Oh, you just regular testing. Like you get tested.
So it's just unless you get tested every other day, it's shit done.
Shit, Donald Trump was the most tested guy in the
It's
world.
getting done. That's my point. That's what I'm about to say. You can't get no more pure than him, yeah. Literally, he a fucking orange demon, but he's the president, right? And they made sure there's no way he can get the shit, but he got it. So, his wife got it. Everybody in the fucking cabinet got it. And most of them niggas wearing masks.
And people in the little ceremony that had it.
Dumbass Supreme Court shit he did. Rushing that, you didn't have to have that.
Oh, about that. Came out that his tax report.
Who?
So his tax report came back. But they said that they weren't trying to said he loaded on the subpoena, the tax subpoena. So what they going to do is go back to the Supreme Court, and this is all today. That's why he was trying to rush that Supreme Court lady into the Supreme Court. I mean, I know some people don't care about that tax shit. That's fine. But they want to know, is he paying or not? Is he abiding by the rules? Because if you're not abiding by the rules, you know, it's not fair that, you know, Wesley Snipes go to jail for 2 years for tax evasion. This motherfucker got 10 years of that shit. But Snipes only have, 3 years of it, 2 years of it, 1 year, something like that. It wasn't that much. But that's what they do. It's a double-edged sword. You gotta bite both sides. What is going on?
Yeah. Appreciate everybody tuning in to the Third Perspective Podcast. Jake, Radical Real. You subscribe to our YouTube channel. Unsubscribe, we get the hottest chip in the world, you know. Subscribe to Rail channel. And Highland Crafts, he'll tell you about that.
I'll tell you about that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the new followers. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all. You know what I'm saying? I got y'all. We're going to do that soon. You know what I'm saying? About right around telling me that chip. So, yeah. But go ahead and follow, subscribe to T3P. It's currently watching. One quick step. Real Media over there. I expect to throw some new stuff at y'all this week. You know what I'm saying? I'm already been working on some stuff. Yeah, hit that subscribe button as well. And then if you feeling lucky, go ahead and hit Real Gamer 82 at twitchtv.com. You know, and complete trio. And that automatically ending you in getting something from Holland Crafts. Then you went off the website. They got you. You know, anniversaries, birthdays, Christmas gift. You know, Christmas coming. You know, a lot of birthdays around here, Scorpios, all that other stuff, Sagittarius, you know, whatever. You got all that for y'all.
What's wrong with Sagittarius?
Nothing wrong with Sagittarius. You know what I'm saying? I'm Sagittarius. You know, not better than Aries, but that's getting over there. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Yeah, check it out. You know what I'm saying?
Head over there, huh?
Head over there. Yeah, do a free, do a little shout out. We get done with the podcast.
You know? Subscribe, follow. You're in the running for anything off the Highland Crafts website. That's Highland Crafts website. Check that out anytime you want. You know what I'm saying? Custom made, you know?
Free birthday gifts out there.
100 subscribers, we'll be chomping down on this. You know what I'm saying? We'll get out of here. Look at that real good. Authentically. You know what I'm saying? Look at that real good. We're going to be on fire. Live on all platforms, dog.
Hey, you gonna see niggas throwing up.
All platforms, you know?
I'm gonna make sure I keep the camera on. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate everybody tunes in, though, man. You download our podcast. Appreciate it a whole lot. We're creeping over 4,800 downloads, 5,000 downloads. This shit will be in effect. You know what I'm saying, Doc? I think that's gonna come quicker than 100 subscribers, but it is what it is, yo. You know what I'm saying? We about to eat it, though. Before motherfucking Halloween or something. It's coming. You know? So if you want to see us on fire, subscribe, follow. You know what I'm saying? Also, you go on the website. You know what I'm saying, Doc? Check us out every Monday and Wednesday and Friday. You know what I'm saying? Jay, got something to say before we get out of here?
Yeah. Pretty boy. I need that goddamn Twitter.
You know?
Yeah. Y'all scared. Go to church, man.
Shut up, man. Get that bread up. $24 million? Stop playing, man. Check us out on Google Podcasts, Spotify, where we get your podcasts at. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Check us out on YouTube,
Twitch,
Twitter. You know what I'm saying? We got a website. Check that out. You know what I'm saying? Patreon. Check that out. You know what I'm saying? We will contribute to our growth. You can do that. Cash App. You can do that. We're all over the place. You know what I'm saying, Doc?
Top DMV
podcast
out there. You know?
Catch us Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know? Wednesday podcast number 38. You know?
Catch us Wednesday,
Catch us Friday.
Sign out.
Player?